Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to McCulley Stadium, and welcome to Wheaton alumni for this year's homecoming game between the 14th ranked Thunder of Wheaton College and the visiting Blue Jays of Elmhurst University. At this time, let's meet the starters first for the Elmhurst Blue Jay offense. Starting at quarterback, a junior from Sugar Grove, Illinois, number 12, Connor Buck. At running back, a 5'10 junior out of South Bend, Indiana, number 1, Julian Cavallo. At tight end, a 6'4 grad student from Paw Paw, Michigan, number 88, Hayden Beck. At wide receiver, a 5'6 junior out of Pekin, Illinois, number 17, Gabe Holtke. Also at wide receiver, a 5'11 sophomore out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, number 4, Max McCarville. Also at wide receiver, a 6'1 sophomore out of Oviedo, Florida, number 3, Winston Brown. On the offensive line at left tackle, a 6'3 grad student from Northlake, Illinois, number 62, Chris Peterson. At left guard, number 79, a 6'1 junior out of Champaign, Illinois, number 79, Larson Lovelace. At center, a 6-foot senior out of Tampa, Florida, number 71, Don Brown. The right guard, a 6'4 freshman out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 72, Caden Cornell. And at right tackle, a 6'3 junior from Brookfield, Wisconsin, number 77, Charlie Uxen. Elmhurst is coached by Jeff McDonald. And now the starters for the Wheaton College defense. At defensive end, a 6'1 senior out of Wheaton, Illinois, number 93, Braden Anthony. At defensive tackle, a 6'2 senior from Aurora, Illinois, number 99, Dmitry Skakovic. A defensive tackle, a 6'2 senior from Rockford, Illinois, number 96, Jaden Ferlita. At defensive end, a 6'1 senior from Knoxville, Tennessee, number 91, Caleb Kuhn. At linebacker, a 6'2 senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 21, Jalen Schaefer. A linebacker, a 5'10 senior from Lubbock, Texas, number 24, Clayton Reeves. At corner, a 6'4 sophomore from Wheaton, Illinois, number 12, Max Wilson. A safety, a 6'2 senior from White Bear Lake, Minnesota, number 49, Sam Bell. At safety, a 5'10 senior from Kent, Washington, number 22, Stephen Watson. And at corner, a 5'11 junior from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 1, Riley Schwartz. Wheaton is coached, the head coach, Jesse Scott. Our officials for today's game, the referee, Mike Lenny, the umpire, Nick Baffis, the head line judge, Giovanni Morales, line judge, Nick Ippolito, side judge, Will Nordquist, field judge, Jeff Rutledge, and back judge, Ryan McMillan. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and gentlemen remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem performed today by the Wheaton College Men's Glee Club.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wheaton College Men's Glee Club.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this afternoon's football action between the number 14 home team Wheaton Thunder versus the visiting Elmhurst Blue Jays. Beautiful afternoon here at McCulley Stadium in Wheaton, Illinois for some football. A crisp 55 degrees with a little bit of a breeze. Both teams coming into this game with probably not what they envisioned for the start of their seasons. Noah, where are both teams coming from today?
Yeah, so entering today for Wheaton, it's not been the strongest start. They're still 2-2, coming off of a loss last week against number 1 ranked North Central. It was a hard-fought game, lost 20-33. Wheaton had a tough start, but came back, won the second half,
their choice in the second half,
and are looking to take that into today's game against Elmhurst. Elmhurst, on the other hand, has definitely struggled to start off the year, starting off 0-4. This is another tough matchup for Elmhurst.
Will receive away from
their
the
third matchup against a top 20 team in their first 5 games. So for Wheaton to really carry the success from the second half of last week's game into today, one of the main things they're looking to do is run early and run often. In the games that Wheaton's won so far this year, Geo Weeks, Wheaton's star All-American running back, has rushed 50 times and for 306 yards. He's averaging 6.1 yards per carry in their wins. But when Wheaton has lost so far, they've rushed less with only about 35 rushes and only averaging 3.1 yards per carry. So getting Weeks the ball as often as possible, getting the ball into your best player is always a great recipe for success. And then on the defensive side, I definitely want to watch out for Sam Bell. He's so far, in our first 4 games, he's gotten an interception in every game, looking to keep that streak up here today against Elmhurst. Just stop them as often as they can, keep that run defense strong from the defensive line, and then use that field position to march down the field and score.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have said it better myself. Wheaton obviously looking to right the ship a little bit after their first 2-2 start to a football season since 2001, which just shows you how consistent and dominant Wheaton's football program is. Wheaton is out there ready to kick off. Elmhurst will receive the opening kickoff. They will start with the ball, and Wheaton will start on the defensive side. We'll likely be seeing a lot of Giovanni Weeks today. Hopefully the Wheaton Thunder can get just back above 500 again this season against an Elmhurst team that they've historically played very well against. This will be Caleb Mary for the kickoff. Nice kick just outside the end zone is taken by Elmhurst. Their returner cutting around looking for a hole and is absolutely swallowed up by the Wheaton defense, brought down with a strong tackle.
Absolutely just leveled there, as you can see in the Thrivent Financial replay here. He's looking for a hole, can't find anything. All he does find is a Wheaton jersey right in his face, just thrown to the ground.
Yeah, and that was number 51, Philip Laturco, who's been a great contributor on the defensive side of the ball this year for the Thunder, making his presence felt there on special teams. And the Wheaton defense will line up here. Elmhurst with the ball on their own 15-yard line, hoping to start a nice gain there. Close to a first down, but just shy. It'll be third and nice gain there. Close to a first down, but just shy. It'll be third and short for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, not surprising here to see Elmhurst start off with some conservative play calls, a quick short pass and then a handoff. Buck has struggled a bit accuracy-wise to start off the year with 9 interceptions already, so it's not surprising to see them looking for quick, easy plays to start off the game.
Well, and Wheaton will look to capitalize on that. They are very good at forcing turnovers. As Buck gets the ball out quickly, that ball is caught well behind the first down line. That'll be a 3-and-out for the Blue Jays here. Wheaton surely pleased with stifling that Elmhurst offense very early in this game. They'll likely have good field position here. But Elmhurst's punter, Ryan Brenner, has had a great season so far. He's had 29 punts for just under 1,000 yards. A few 50-plus yard punts, a few inside the 20 as well. So he'll look to give Wheaton a difficult field position. Short punt from Brenner is taken by Wheaton, and it'll be just inside the 50-yard line. They're brought down by a horde of Blue Jays, and the Wheaton offense will look to start with just over 50 yards here on this drive. They'll hope to get in the end zone. And like you said, no, I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of Giovanni Weeks here on this opening drive.
Yeah, definitely looking for Giovanni Weeks here. Elmhurst defense is a bit more inexperienced compared with Wheaton's. Not exactly a senior front line. They have a few, but Wheaton's definitely going to look to take advantage of their inexperience here.
And that's Bowers with the opening offensive play for the Thunder. That's a run there from Giovanni Weeks. That'll look to be about a 5 to 6 yard gain there. Just a nice, easy handoff. Gio does the rest.
Yeah, that's just exactly what Wheaton's looking to do here today. Give the ball to your best player and watch him work. He's averaging 5.1 yards per carry, and you can see that right there. That's what they need to march the ball down the field.
Bowers ready to receive the snap here. He takes it, and that'll be a nice fake handoff. He gets it outside to number 28, Jack Allen, who takes the pass far enough to pick up a first down. The Wheaton offense in the first 2 plays moving the ball very easily.
Yeah, very effective there from the 2-back set, putting Allen in motion. Elmhurst is looking for Weeks to get the ball, not ready for the quick pass out to Allen.
Bowers once again in the shotgun with Weeks flanking him. Bowers back to pass, surveys the field. Nice throw, and that is almost hauled in by number 6, Tyler Gauthier. Coach Jesse Scott a little frustrated with the coverage there from Elmhurst. Probably could have gone either way as far as a penalty flag being thrown, but that'll be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, Bowers gets protection there, but just underthrows that ball a little bit after Gauthier had beaten his defender.
Oh, here we go, 2nd and 10. Bowers with a handoff to Weeks, who'll cut to the near side, and he moves through the defense, absolutely slicing through, and he's open down the sideline. Touchdown, Wheaton Thunder. The Thunder absolutely marched down the field on the first offensive possession of the game. Cap it off with a Giovanni Weeks touchdown run, going through the defense pretty much untouched.
Yeah,
wow.
That looked like a great outside zone play there for Wheaton. Weeks gets to the outside, cuts inside of a defender, and by that point, it's a race to the finish line, and he's going to win almost all of those races. He's a great running back for Wheaton as an All-American, and you can see why on that play right there.
And Wheaton's special teams out there for the PAT, and that'll be Jack Ryken knocking that extra point through. Wheaton now with a 7-0 lead with just under 12 minutes left in this game. Beautiful opening drive there from the Thunder. They made quick work of that Elmhurst defense, slicing and dicing, cap it off with All-American Giovanni Weeks doing a lot of the heavy lifting there on that last touchdown run. but making it look easy, that's for sure.
So now with Wheaton getting ready to go back onto defense here, I would expect them to look to do the same thing, looking to send a lot of pressure up into Buck's face here to really force that. I mean, the more pressure he's under, he's going to be a little less accurate, looking to take advantage of that, and then also strong defensive line play to really hold that run game down so that they don't have that to fall back to.
Yep, absolutely. And this will be Caleb Mary again, kicking off for the Thunder. Nice kick there from Mary. And Elmhurst is going to let that go. And they'll start at the 25-yard line. Buck hoping to have a little bit more going for him and his offense this drive around. The Wheaton defense obviously hoping to stifle them. The Wheaton defense playing great this season. Quite a few takeaways from them. Noah, you mentioned in the pregame, Sam Bell making his impact felt this whole season. He's got 4 interceptions through 4 games. We also got quite a few players in the front 7 who've been able to register some forced fumbles and fumble recoveries, and that's certainly something they're going to hope to see more of today. As the handoff goes to number 36, it looks like Aiden Pollock. Again, not very much there for him. Picks up maybe 1, probably not.
It's a great play there by the nose tackle, Jaden Farlita. He just completely shuts that hole down. Pollock had nowhere to go, and then the Wheaton defense really does a great job of rallying to the football to shut that down.
Excuse me, that was number 1 Julian Cavallo with the carry. Buck now with an empty backfield. He'll go back to pass, quick pass out, and it's dropped off the hands of number 17. That's Gabe Holtke dropping that pass. Looks like it may have actually been batted a little bit coming out of Buck's hands. Kind of wobbled a little bit.
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 24. That 15-yard penalty will be taken from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And on that play, we have a flag called against number 24, Clayton Reeves. He's going to get caught for roughing the passer, which will give the Elmhurst offense 15 free yards. So they'll move up to about the 40 here.
Yeah, Wheaton trying to send pressure there, and Reeves just a little too anxious. Hits the quarterback after he throws.
So Elmhurst now with a little shorter field to work with. Buck back to pass, and that pass is most definitely batted down on the way to number 1. Julian Cavallo was hoping to get his hands on that one, but that one, as you can see on the Thrivent Financial replay, number 93.
Braden Anthony there with another pass breakup. That's his 3rd of the year so far. He's really great at just getting his hands up there and just swatting that down. He's such a big presence there, like a lot of these defensive linemen are. It's tough for Elmhurst to get these short passes that they're looking to do.
Yeah, and very early in this game, we can already see, Noah, that Buck is facing a lot of pressure. We could see there Anthony was really coming across that corner, hoping to force Buck into an errant pass, and was able to get his hands on it.
Yeah, so with the struggles that they're going to have with the passing game, they're going to try to keep running the ball here, Elmhurst is. But as you can see on that play, it's just tough. This defensive lineman is, the whole defensive line as a whole is really dominant. We saw that in the Illinois Westland game, and it continues here where they don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, Elmhurst having trouble moving the ball so far. That'll be a short pass and a pass complete from Buck to his receiver, number 17, Gabe Holtke. Hauls that one in for a little bit of a gain, but unfortunately well short of where they needed to be. It'll be a 4th down, so the punt team will come out. This will be Ryan Brenner punting for the 2nd time this game, hoping to get a nice punt here to pin the Thunder with a long field.
Great 3rd down defense there by Wheaton in the zone coverage, staying short. Oh, looks like they're going to fake it here.
Yep, looks like we're going. Elmhurst is calling up a trick play here. Holtke motioning across to the near side. This will be number 7 from Elmhurst. Took the pass there, and it looks like that'll be a flag. I think they're going to get him with an illegal forward pass here. So unfortunately not what Elmhurst was looking for, and even if that would have been what they wanted, you could see there on the Thrivent Financial replay that the Wheaton special teams was all over that.
Yeah.
Number 23, Max Smith,
Legal motion.
figured that out very early.
Offense, number 17. That penalty's declined. First down, Wheaton.
Elmhurst trying to be aggressive there. You know, they got to do everything they can to try to get points. That one didn't work out. Tried to go with the fake punt with the backup quarterback Noah Henkel, who started for him last year. He had a man open, just underthrew him there with a lot of pressure up front as Wheaton was sending all of their guys looking to block a punt.
Yeah, and unfortunately, even with looking to complete that pass, there was a illegal movement called against number 17, Gabe Holke. But the offense is now no longer on the field. Excuse me. This will be the Thunder starting off with another short field. That'll be a handoff to Weeks, who tries to cut through the defense, picks up about a yard or two. Yes, I mean, you have to applaud the Blue Jays there for going aggressive on that last drive. The Blue Jays, through 4 games, have scored just 22 points, and you've got to, you know, give them a little credit for wanting to be aggressive enough to try and go for it, especially early in this game before things can get out of hand.
Yeah, you got to go for whatever you can. Let's see. I'd like to see Wheaton take advantage of that aggressiveness here and march down for another short field touchdown.
Yep, Wheaton again with a short field. This is Bowers, who looks and he finds a wide open Ben Bonga, who drops that one. Bonga came back for that pass and just came out of his hands at the last second as the defensive pressure was coming in.
Yeah, Wheaton had Paul Fay, the left guard there, gets beat on a nice swim move from the Elmhurst defensive tackle there. And that little bit of pressure hits Bauer's arm just a little bit, and the ball's wobbling a little too much for Bonga to bring it in.
This will be Bowers looking to make something happen here on 3rd and long. It's a handoff to Weeks, who, as expected, cuts through the defense, picks up more than he needs for that first down. Gio Weeks proving to be a really effective weapon so far for this Wheaton team early in this game. It's very clear when you watch Giovanni Weeks why he has been so highly regarded as across Division III football, All-American last year, and continues to add to his resume today. And this will be a rollout here from Bowers. He's surveying, and Bowers decides to keep it himself, cutting through. Great moves there by Bowers, was able to shake off some defenders. Really also moved into that contact there, showing some toughness, and picks up a first down. Great, just
great athleticism from the quarterback there. You know, with the rollout, he's got the wide open field to take advantage of. He actually leads the team right now in rushing touchdowns, and picks up a good, nice game for another first down there.
Yeah, it's nice to see Bowers willing to kind of just see what the defense gives him, as Giovanni Weeks on another handoff will walk into the end zone after early contact through the defensive line. Another Thunder touchdown with still over half of the first quarter left. Giovanni Weeks again making it look textbook as he rolls in for his already 2nd touchdown of the game.
Guess who? Giovanni Weeks with another easy touchdown there. It's great line play, just dominating up front. You saw multiple people just get run over as they cleared the path for Weeks.
Yeah, Giovanni Weeks now on 5 rushing attempts, 2 of which have gone for touchdowns, has 74 rushing yards, already putting together quite the performance, and will likely, as you've said, Noah, we're probably going to see a lot more of Giovanni Weeks this game, because if it's broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Earlier this year, Weeks was a D3. He was on the D3 Team of the Week during Wheaton's Week 3 win over Augustana, when he had the most rushing yards in a single game of any Wheaton running back since 2017. And it looks like so far he might be trying to repeat that here. Already with 75 yards, as you said, on 5 carries. It's looking like it's going to be another strong day for him.
Yep, and I think we talked a little bit about this earlier, but I feel very fitting to bring up again. Wheaton has historically been very dominant against Elmhurst, seeming to look to continue that trend, already up by 2 scores with just over 7 minutes having elapsed so far in this game as Caleb Mary will kick off here. Elmhurst will get yet another chance on the offensive side to make something happen. They will call a fair catch. That's Gabe Holtke deciding not to try and return that. And it'll be the Wheaton defense on the field once again, hoping to make life difficult as they have done so far for Connor Buck and his offense.
Yeah, that's another really strong kick there from Mary. Wheaton using the two kicker system here, one for the kickoffs, one for the extra points and field goals. Reichen knocking in his first 2 extra points, and Mary with another touchback here, really preventing Elmhurst from getting any momentum to start off with good field position, and so then the Wheaton defense can take advantage of that as they have so far.
And speaking of using committees, Connor Buck is out there with one of the 2 members of his backfield committee. That looks like that is number 32, who we haven't seen yet this game. That's Zach Norman, the junior for his Blue Jays team, picking up a few yards there.
Yeah, Elmhurst with a solid run there. As you see on the Thrivent Financial replay, they go with a lead play there and really drive out the 2 tackles, giving enough of a hole up the middle to pick up a good solid 3 or 4 yard gain for him.
Buck's got 3 receivers to his left along the line of scrimmage, and that'll be a handoff once again to Zach Norman, who tries to make his way through the Wheaton defense, but
he's pile drive to the ground.
He is absolutely stifled there. Looks like number 36, Jaden Ferlita, if I'm not mistaken, on the tackle there.
Yeah,
excuse
let's watch
me, that's
that
not.
Replay.
Whole host of Wheaton players on that tackle.
The whole team taking him down there, and he's definitely going to feel that one tomorrow.
Yeah. So we Buck once again, 3rd and long here for the Elmhurst Blue Jays, looking to pick up about 5 to 6 yards here for the first down. Buck back to pass, looks around the field. Throw across his body is incomplete, and it looks like it'll be, unless we see another fake punt, we'll have another 3 and out here for the Elmhurst offense. Wheaton will likely be working with another short field, but Ryan Brenner, the Elmhurst punter, will hope to pin them far back into their own side of the field.
Yeah, Wheaton with another great 3rd down defense there. Looks like so far they're only rushing 3 D linemen on that, on 3rd down so far to give themselves a little more space, and it's worked. He hasn't had anywhere to go with the ball.
And that punt bounces a little bit before it is picked up by McNeil Stout, who is brought down very quickly after picking up that punt. Not much there as far as the return, but Wheaton will be working with about 60 yards of real estate before they can get back into the end zone, hoping to, like you said, Noah, make the most out of yet another short field situation. We've got the Thunder up still by 2 scores with 6:45 left in this first quarter.
Yeah, Wheaton lining up here for another short field opportunity. Looking to see if they can get some more yardage and some more touchdowns out of Weeks and Bowers.
Yeah, this will be Bowers calling for it. And Bowers is brought down by pressure from number 13. That's Bryce Gable, the linebacker for the Blue Jays, coming in across the near edge and just bringing Bowers down. Bowers was looking to be elusive there, as we can see on the Thrivent Financial replay. He saw Gable coming, but just wasn't able to escape, and that is definitely something the Elmhurst defense will be happy with.
Yeah, great athleticism on the blitz there by the linebacker. Nitz, the left tackle, just not quite fast enough to catch up to him, and so the sack.
And on 2nd and 16, Bowers goes with a handoff action to who else but actually Jack Allen, number 28, who has already touched the ball a few times this game. And that'll be a few yards. We got a 3rd and 13 now for the Thunder. This is by far their longest they've been from the first down line. Here is Bowers in a single backfield with Weeks next to him. His 2 receivers out wide on both sides of him. You can see Bowers taking some advice from the coaching staff along the sideline. Bowers looking, surveying the field, getting ready to take this snap. He takes it. Weeks cuts out through, and that'll be Bowers on the carry. Once again, using that speed, pushes off a tackle. Nice stiff arm, but Bowers brought down after getting through 2 Elmhurst defenders is brought down. But as we're probably going to see here on the Thrivent Financial replay, Bowers putting a nice little stiff arm into the face of an Elmhurst defender there, making it difficult to bring him down.
Gotta love that effort from a quarterback. Stays up after 3 hits to him, and he gains some positive yardage on what looked like a broken play there, but not quite enough to get it done. But you definitely got to appreciate that toughness from a quarterback.
Yeah, and this will be Wheaton's punt unit out for the first time this game. This is Evan Spees, who'll be back to kick the ball. Spees takes it. Nice punt there from Spees. Looks like this will be a roller, and it does. It rolls a little bit along the sideline. Nice punt there from Spees. Looks like it'll pin the Elmhurst offense just inside the 20.
It's a great punt there by Spees. That's his 4th punt so far this year to pin the other team inside the 20. You know, he didn't have a ton of airtime, but he kept it low so it would roll right on through, and Elmhurst didn't have a chance really to return it. Now Elmhurst, in a struggling offense, once again pinned back deep, and I would expect Wheaton to, early on, try to bring some pressure here, especially from the middle linebacker, Clayton Reeves.
Yeah, Elmhurst with the ball in their own 17. Buck is joined in the backfield by number 1, Julian Cavallo, who will take that carry and has nowhere to go. That's number 21, Jalen Schaefer, who has had a busy season so far. Schaefer with 23 solo tackles, for his Wheaton Thunder this season, and just see that strength, see why he gets so many tackles there as he brings down the running back.
Yeah, he does a great job reading the play there, staying back. He doesn't over-pursue it as a linebacker, sees the hole, and then fills it himself. That's why he leads the team in tackles, and he's adding on to it right now.
So we buck back. He's looking for the pass, short pass there intended for number 3, Winston Brown. Brown just not able to get there. Him and his quarterback were not quite on the same page there on that pass, but we're seeing so far Buck able to get the ball off in most situations, but oftentimes those passes have been very short. Wheaton being able to bring a lot of pressure, even with not rushing many players. They're just physically dominant against this Elmhurst offensive line.
Yeah, there was that pressure in the last play, sending both outside linebackers in, or off the edge, and Buck just, he's got to feel just the panic setting in here as all he sees is the wrong shade of blue coming at him.
And you can hear the Wheaton homecoming crowd getting loud on 3rd down as the pass for looks like number 4, Max McCarville, was the intended receiver there on the pass from Buck, and had his hands on it for a moment, as you can see on the Thriving Financial replay. Nice ball there from Buck to be able to get it to a really catchable position, but McCarville just not able to haul in, especially against that nice coverage there from Max Wilson. And this will be yet another Elmhurst punt. This will be Ryan Brenner for Elmhurst just along that goal line as he's going to kick this ball off. And that's a very short punt there. That's received by number 11, McNeil Stout, who calls for the fair catch. And this will be the Wheaton offense out on the field once again. 3 minutes, 42 seconds left in this first quarter. Wheaton offense once again working with a very short field, hoping to get into the end zone once again after last drive being unable to get anything going.
Yeah, I would expect here, already inside the 40, I guess that Wheaton's going to try to get the ball to Weeks off the edge here, especially with Elmhurst looking like they're going to send pressure up the middle.
Yeah, you can see Elmhurst showing blitz, and they send a guy through. It's almost picked off there. Great pressure by number 2, Jeremy Innes of the Blue Jays, just seeing what was coming there from Bowers. Bowers hoping to find Bonga on that little outside route, but Innes all over it, able to stop anything from happening there. It would be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, one thing Elmhurst is they're aggressive so far in this game, sending a lot of pressure, doing trick plays and things like that, looking to do anything they can to try to keep this close, give themselves a chance.
This will be Bowers finding, looks like number 85.
Ben Juska there.
Ben Juska, the tight end, picking up some yards after the catch there. That'll be a first down for the Thunder offense. And like you mentioned, Noah, I think a big thing we've seen so far from Elmhurst is not only a willingness to be physically aggressive, but also in the play calls we've seen that fake punt early in the game. Definitely a bold call, but again, something you have to admire for an Elmhurst team hoping to get their first win of the season.
Yeah. Oh. And Weeks with another strong run there. Sorry, I got distracted. Weeks with another strong run. Another 10-yard gain. That's really all Wheaton's recipe for success has been so far, is get the ball in the hands of the running backs, especially Weeks, but also Jack Allen and Kyle Carter so far. Just run the ball right down Elmhurst's throat. As aggressive as they're trying to be, they can't match up physically, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Well, unfortunately for Elmhurst, it seems like anytime you or I mention them getting any momentum, Giovanni Weeks decides that it's his time to shine as he rips off a nice run there. It'll be 2nd and 1 here with the ball on the Elmhurst 14. Bowers with a handoff to number 9. And that is, excuse me, that is...
It's a strong run there as he's able to essentially run over the middle linebacker, trying to hold him on by his legs. He's eventually brought down, but he's, after contact, still picking up 4 or 5, maybe 6 yards there. And he had good blocks there, but that's really just strength in the running back, just able to keep pushing.
Yeah, and that number 9 was Christian Carsons. Excuse me for the confusion there. He's in relieving both Jack Allen and Giovanni Weeks, and Christian Carsons cutting through the defense once again, picking up some nice yardage. It'll be a very short yardage situation here for the Thunder offense. A 2nd and goal here with about 4 yards to go.
Yeah, that's the same thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They run the same play, another lead right up the middle. Karstens once again gets matched up with that middle linebacker and once again is able to get a good 5-yard gain, so they're inside the 5 now.
Bowers taking the snap under center here. Bowers looking...
Ooh.
And diving attempted a catch there by number 2, Matthew Tucker, who really laid out there hoping to haul in that pass. It was a nice play design there from the Thunder. Bowers just overthrows just a tiny bit there, as you can see on the Thrivent Financial replay. Matthew Tucker doing everything he can. And Noah, something I've been noticing is just how much having a dominant offensive line just opens up the game. We've been able to see Wheaton pretty much getting whatever they want, because when you can command the field with an offensive line like the Thunder have, you can do anything. As speaking of, looks like we got the exact same play call there.
Goodness.
Pulled in by Matthew Tucker. Excuse me for my lack of excitement. I thought that there was no way that he was catching that, and it honestly did not look like he was able to haul it in, but the refs call that a touchdown and run the exact same play. Bowers with a little bit of adjustment there on the pass, and Tucker making a very impressive catch, laying out right again,
yeah,
and hauling that one in.
They go for that same matchup with Tucker on that defensive back, and with just an incredibly athletic diving catch there by Tucker. As you were mentioning about the offensive line, they really have held up the protection, so Bowers hasn't really felt much pressure other than the 1 sack earlier in the game. But there's nobody around him. He's able to really get some air under that ball, which allows Tucker the ability to have, the time to really lay out. Wow, what a catch. That's the highlight of that play. Watch him keep his hands on that ball.
You can see in that Thrivent Financial replay that Tucker was able to make contact with that ball with his fingertips and just pull it into his body before making contact with the ground. Incredibly impressive play there from Matthew Tucker, showing all degrees of concentration and athleticism. Just to note, Jack Reichen was unable to convert that extra point attempt, so Wheaton now with 20 to Elmhurst 0 with just 1 minute and 19 seconds left in this first quarter. Wheaton definitely sitting comfortably here. They've got to be feeling good, especially after that really impressive play there from Matthew Tucker.
Yeah, very impressive play by Matthew Tucker. And once again, the offense just really marching down the field. Elmhurst not really able to put enough pressure to really be felt. That's also another great kick by Caleb Mary. That's his 3rd touchback in a row. Really not letting Elmhurst get a chance at getting any momentum there.
Yeah, Mary's been really great on kickoffs today. I think it's worth mentioning, too, that it's quite breezy here at McCully. It's about 15 miles an hour wind, gusting up to close to 20 or 25, so not the greatest conditions for kicking, but Mary showing that despite some of those conditions, he can really move that ball well. This will be Elmhurst starting at their own 25 with just under a minute and 20 seconds left here, hoping to make something, at least the start of something, happen before the end of this first quarter. This will be Buck back. He's got Pollock in the backfield with him. He finds his receiver for a short gain. Looks like that'll go for about 4 or 5 yards. That's number 8, Trey Stabling, on the reception for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's just a quick, easy pass. Wasn't the prettiest throw. It's wobbling as it gets in there, but good job by Buck to get rid of it quickly. Takes advantage of Wheaton trying to get back into their zone defense. They need a second to set that up as he's getting into his back pedal there, and that's where he finds time to find his target.
Yeah, Buck here with the handoff to Aiden Pollock, who goes just straight up the middle, is able to pick up a few yards. We'll have third down and short here. And
yeah,
like you're saying, I think we've seen quite a few attempts here from Buck on passes that have not been quite what he'd probably want, but a lot of that is no fault of his own. The Wheaton defense really making it hard for him to have a good day as they're consistently pressuring, not giving him the amount of time he needs, which is, of course, the defense's whole objective. But the Wheaton defense proving to be a very difficult opponent so far for this Elmhurst offense.
Yeah, the defensive tackle duo of Dimitri Skakovac and Jaden Ferlita has shut things down so far.
And this is a nice run here by number 36, Aiden Pollock, off the handoff. Just 3 straight run plays there from the Elmhurst offense to end the first quarter. And we'll get right back to game action after a message here from our sponsor. Thrivent Financial is a proud sponsor of Wheaton Thunder Athletics. At Thrivent, we believe money is a tool, not a goal.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Let us work with you to create a financial strategy that reflects your priorities and helps you protect the things that matter to you, like family and giving back. Visit our website at thrivent.com or give us a call at 815-535-7166. After the first quarter, the Thunder up 20-0 on the visiting Elmhurst Blue Jays on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's Wheaton's homecoming, if that has not been mentioned before. The stands absolutely packed here for the Thunder. The crowd having a great time so far, getting loud on third downs for their team. Got to be exciting to be in the crowd with so far the performance that we've seen from the Thunder. 2 very dominant rushing touchdowns from Giovanni Weeks to start that first quarter. And not to mention that amazing catch from Matthew Tucker on the touchdown pass from his quarterback, Will Bowers. If you, by chance, missed that touchdown, I'd recommend going back at the end of this game and finding that, because it is quite something to see. Both Noah and I very impressed. Hard to believe as that pass came out of his hands that Tucker was able to haul that in, but the Thunder overall just putting together a very dominant performance so far. Elmhurst on their last play of the first quarter was able to pick up quite a few yards. Aiden Pollock was able to bust through the Wheaton defensive line for the first time this game and pick up a good amount of yardage, but was able to be stopped by the Wheaton's second and third lines before being able to break off a large run as Connor Buck finds his receiver, who's open, breaks through a tackle. He's going along the sideline, continues to cut through, and is brought down just outside the end zone. That's number 26, Jacob Cockrell, with just doing the work himself. He caught just a short check down here, you can see, just across the middle, and was able to just escape his defender, breaks that tackle, as you can see on the Thrivent Financial replay. Is able to get around another before being pushed out just outside the end zone. And for the first time this game, the Elmhurst offense finds himself in the red zone.
Yeah, Keegan Babick gets beat on the coverage there, and so Elmhurst actually has a shot here. Ooh, high snap, and it's a
High
fumble.
snap, fumbled. And the ref is coming in here to see who has the ball. You can see on the Thrivent Financial replay that snap just a little high for Buck. Wasn't expecting that. Dropped it, but the ball will stay with the Blue Jays. They'll lose just a yard or two on that. They certainly have to feel a little bit of a relief after almost losing the opportunity at scoring here, as they're very close, just 7 yards from the end zone here.
Yeah, it's been tough so far for their offense, so they definitely didn't want to lose one of their few opportunities here.
This will be Buck back to pass again. He hands off to Aiden Pollock, who is absolutely swallowed up as he tries to get in between his linemen and through the defensive lineman. That's number 96.
Ferlita once again there, swallowing up the entire play by himself. He keeps that strong shiver there off of the offensive guard that tries to really, they're trying to get around him, run a zone play there, and Ferlita completely shoves him off and then takes down the running back.
And folks, if you can't hear the Wheaton home crowd getting loud right now for this 3rd and goal here, hoping to stop the Elmhurst offense. Buck back to pass, short pass, looks, and that pass is very off. He's looking for his receiver in the far corner of the end zone, just overthrew there against some pressure that he saw coming. And that'll be no touchdown here unless they decide to go for it, but it looks like they're bringing out their kicking unit.
Yeah, the aggressiveness of Elmhurst apparently is only going to go so far here. They definitely want to get some points on the board, and so they're going to send out their kicker here, number 94, Isaac Ochoa. He, so far, has made his 1 field goal that he's attempted. Wheaton's also been pretty good with blocks so far this year. We'll see if that continues.
Oh, Wheaton, and speaking of blocks, Noah, there they are. The Wheaton special teams coming in with speed off both edges, swallowing up that kick before it had a chance to go anywhere. And you could see, I think it was actually Ochoa himself who the bounce ended up in the hands of as we look at the replay here. And that's number 1, Riley Schwartz, with the block.
It's a great job by Riley Schwartz there. Just flying off the edge. Nobody touches him off the edge. And because of that, he's able to just dive, get his hands off on that. And right as I had said it, they've been great with blocks. They pull one off right there and keep the shutout going.
Yeah, and this will be Wheaton once again on the offensive. Matthew Tucker, who's already had an impressive performance today with that amazing touchdown catch, picks up a few yards there off a short pass from Bowers.
Yeah, on the Thrivent Financial replay here, as we see, that's a great block by the receivers to give him a little bit of space. You're not going to get a ton off a screenplay usually, but to get 6 yards there, that's all that they need to keep the march down the field.
And this will be Bowers once again back to pass. He's joined in the backfield by Giovanni Weeks, who we've seen a lot of so far this game. Bowers finds Ben Juska, who cuts to the outside sideline, pushing against his defender, pushed out of bounds after a nice gain there. And no, I was meaning to say that I'm starting to believe that you have the gift of premonition. You've been able to predict quite a few plays. You predicted a few of Giovanni's big runs. You predicted that block there. So if the Thunder find themselves in any difficult position, we'll just have to ask you to make a prediction for a big play as the Thunder, once again with a fresh set of downs after blocking Elmhurst's attempt at a kick. And this will be a handoff to Weeks, who is able to push through that initial tackle but is brought down with the help of another Elmhurst defender.
Yeah, things are getting a little testy here. Off the edge, you see number 64. It's not quite in the shot on the replay, but he gets a couple shots in on the Wheaton lineman after the play. We'll see if that feistiness keeps going. In a physical matchup one-on-one, I think Wheaton's going to win most of those, so I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a big block here off of 65.
Yeah, and like you've said, we've seen a lot of physical aggression from the Elmhurst team so far this game, which is certainly something that you're going to need to have if you're hoping to have success against a team like Wheaton, who is just dominant on pretty much every facet of the ball, whether you look at the offensive, defensive line, the receiving core, of course, the backfield with Giovanni Weeks at the head. Wheaton just a really well-rounded team, but Elmhurst, like we've said, despite the score, putting up a pretty good fight. Just a few miscues have just really taken them out of positions to be able to succeed when it comes to scoring. This will be Bowers once again in the shotgun with Weeks flanking his right side. Bowers looking to pass. He surveys the field, decides to keep it. Bowers once again using his legs. He slides to avoid a hard hit there. Bowers really showing his athleticism this game. That's one of many rushes he's already had, deciding to keep it himself. Being able to really just go with the flow of the game has been something that Bowers has really done well so far. We saw earlier a nice run to the outside for him after keeping it himself. That was topped off with a little stiff arm we saw there. Just the ability to just make the call and just run up the middle and pick up some yardage.
Yeah, he's got 2 rushes already over 15 yards. As a quarterback, he's really able to read the field And when Elmhurst has some decent coverage, he can take it himself because he's that athletic.
And this will be Christian Carsons, the reserve, in for Giovanni Weeks. And Carson's making the most of his time in the game. He's been really valuable to the Wheaton offense this season. Not starting, but when he gets the opportunities to get the ball in his hands, able to make the most of it.
Yeah, and you can see why right here. That's just incredible speed. Burst off the jump there from Carson's, able to fly through that hole, while Weeks also has great speed, but he's been so physical and able to maul these guys. Carson's on that play just flies past the defenders for a 10-yard gain.
Carson's still in the game, this time flanking the left side of Bowers. The Wheaton Thunder with a few extra blockers, and then he finds Ben Juska, the tight end, who's also been busy this game. If I'm not mistaken, that's Juska's third reception, able to pick up a first down there on the short pass from Bowers. And the Thunder, once again, back to their earlier ways. They're marching down the field. We've got just over 9 minutes left here in the second quarter.
It's a super effective play-action play there. The entire Elmhurst defense almost bites on that run, except for the one defender who's just able to catch Juska from behind. Juska already with 3 catches, half of his season total so far.
That's Bowers on another short pass, this time to Jack Allen, who shakes off as the first defender, picks up a few extra yards before being brought down by number 2 of Elmhurst defense. That's Jeremy Innes, who's had himself a really good game so far, playing some great coverage, able to clean up some of his teammates' missed tackles. But the Thunder just commanding the field when they're out there on the offensive and defensive ends, continuing to march down very close to the red zone once again here for the Thunder as they look at a 2nd and 5. Giovanni Weeks back in the game also for the Thunder. Bowers against pressure finds Matthew Tucker, who spins around. Great move by Tucker, and stiff arm to pick up what will likely be a first down. Wow, great offense there from the Thunder. Bowers able to think on his feet as he's facing pressure. You can see the defensive end for the Blue Jays coming around the edge. Bowers able to get the ball off clean to Tucker, who just uses a nice athletic move there to lose the defender and able to continue to push with the ball and pick up the first down.
Yeah, it's a screenplay there. Wheaton's 1 block away from a touchdown. If Faye can get that linebacker as he goes out down the field, he's just beat a little bit by speed, which will happen when you're an offensive lineman. But Tucker's able to react to that, cut outside, get some good solid yardage.
And no surprise here, a handoff to Giovanni Weeks, who pushes through a few Elmhurst defenders to pick up some yards.
That's really impressive. It's not a huge gain. It's not going to shock you on the stat sheet, but there's not a ton of hole there. And he just plows through 3 guys to get to a good 4 yards on that carry, which, I mean, you only need 3 to 4 yards per carry to march down the field, get yourself into the end zone, and he's providing that even when there's not much there.
Yeah. Weeks just really impressive as a runner. Not very many weaknesses in his abilities as a running back, as Bowers finds Tucker on the short screen, wide receiver screen. Tucker to the outside, and depending on what this flag is that was thrown, we may have a touchdown here. Coach Jesse Scott looking a little frustrated on the sideline, which tells me that this is likely going to be a call against the Thunder offense. We'll see what the refs decide here as they confer over what this could be.
Yeah, Wheaton going for another screenplay, this time with the tackle rushing out to try to take out the corner. Looked like he might have gotten him from behind on this one,
Legal
though.
block in the back. Offense, number 59. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay the down.
And the refs get number 59, Graham Wall, with the block in the back there. So the Thunder backed up now. They'll have on 2nd down here, 2nd and 16, the ball on the Elmhurst 21. The Thunder will hope to get back into the red zone here.
Tough for Wall on that play. There's not much he can do. Corner reads it up, so he's got to make that block or else Tucker's going to get hit pretty hard, but just a little bit too far out in front on that one to get the penalty.
And here's Bowers again. This will be a pass play. Short pass there to Karstens, and Karstens cutting through the defense and almost into the end zone, but big pickup there. Looks like that was about 15 yards there for the Thunder, so despite the penalty setting them back, the Thunder are able to just drum up a play that picks up quite a bit of yardage. And
that's the same play that they had with Tucker earlier. This time, though, 78 gets his block, able to find the linebacker downfield and open up a hole for Karstens. 78, Paul Fay with a really impressive play there. Just tosses the defensive lineman behind him and then also makes his block on the linebacker.
Yeah, great work there from the Wheaton offensive line. This is Karstens again with the carry, and he is into the end zone for another Wheaton touchdown. The Thunder now with 26 over the visiting Blue Jays, and despite the costly flag there, that 15-yard penalty against the Wheaton lineman, the Thunder refusing to quit, continue to march and able to find their way into the end zone once again. If you're able to see on the replay, which I doubt you are, you can see members of the Wheaton men's swim team celebrating wildly just below the section here. And looks like that kick will also be no good. So
looks like there's a flag on the play, though. So hopefully we can get another shot at it.
Yeah, good eye there, Noah. It looked like there was a little bit of contact going on, and we'll probably get a replay here of what went on with that extra point attempt, but no good still. And
tries good.
There we go. We can
After
see
the play, personal foul. Defense number 39. That foul will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff.
All right, so there was a personal foul there against the defense. That'll be enforced on the kickoff, like the referee said. And you saw for a brief moment, and you can see in the screen right now at the bottom left, the swim team clad in many strange and entertaining outfits, doing what they do best, supporting their fellow student athletes. The Thunder, man, they've put together quite a game already. We still have a lot of game left to be played, up 26-0. Something I wanted to touch on, Noah, and hope to get your insight on is the offense this year has really benefited from players like Ben Bonga, who have kind of really established themselves in the rotation, but I got to say it's really nice to see a senior like Matthew Tucker getting a lot of touches today. He's really made the most of them, been a really impactful player. We saw he would have had a second touchdown if not for that block in the back call. But just really impressive work from a lot of offensive players who maybe don't get a lot of the normal attention, especially on the stat sheet.
Yeah, really overall today it's been a very well spread out offensive scheme. Squib pick there by Wheaton, as it looks like they're now kicking into the wind, so they're going to go about it in a different way, and it's actually really effective for them, by the way, getting to the 15, so even better than a touchback. But like you were saying, the offense has really been spread out. You get to see a couple people who aren't normally the key highlighted features. Ben Juska, with 3 catches on the day. He's at about half of his season total already in yardage. Matthew Tucker with 2 touchdowns. Also Christian Karstens with just a very impressive drive on that last one, picking up the touchdown and just putting together multiple plays in a row of like impressive runs in relief of Giovanni Weeks. And obviously Gio Weeks has done 2 touchdowns for himself today. It's been just a great offensive day for Wheaton so far.
And we still have a lot left to go. Wheaton just really having their way with it, and really, as we've said a lot of times, and I think from a outside perspective, if you just were to look at the record, seeing a 2-2 record, you wouldn't necessarily anticipate such a dominant all-around team like Wheaton is, but it's worth noting that those 2 losses came to 2 top 10 ranked teams last weekend. Unfortunately, the most recent loss falling against number 1 North Central, as Buck with an errant pass to his receiver, number 17, Gabe Holtke. But yeah, I mean, Wheaton just has played some really tough teams, losing that opening week game at Trinity by just a single point, and then going into North Central's house in Naperville, the packed crowd. There were about 6,000 fans at that game at North Central, and Wheaton was able to put up a good fight against a really, really good team. But it's good to see them getting back on track today against Elmhurst, as a flag is thrown right at the snap. And I'm thinking this play will probably come back here after the long run. We'll see what the ref has to say.
Yeah, that was an interesting play call there from Elmhurst, going out of the Wildcat with the freshman Jacob Cockrell picking up the carry. Flag looks like we'll hear about it.
Offsides. Defense, number 59. That penalty's declined. First down, Elmhurst.
Yeah, so Elmhurst will get to keep that. That's the same creativity that we've seen from earlier in this game, the fake punt. This time it works out a little better. Elmhurst definitely getting some use out of freshmen. Jacob Cockrell with a nice carry there. Aiden Pollock has been their leading rusher so far, and they're going to keep that up.
Yeah, Wildcat once again. This time the handoff goes to Pollock, who picks up a few yards.
Yeah, so Wheaton's defense now, seeing a different scheme than they have in the past, they're probably going to have to make an adjustment. I would expect them to probably send a little more pressure. If you've got a Wildcat quarterback, you really don't have to worry about the pass very much.
Yep.
So those linebackers are really going to be flying in there. Clayton Reeves, the middle linebacker, I would guess, will be one of the main focal points of that blitz that's going to be coming here soon.
It'll be interesting to see if Elmhurst continues with this strategy, as Cockrell swallowed up after keeping it himself. And
there was Clayton Reeves there. Didn't blitz, but he has a great read on the play action that they're trying to run. Doesn't bite for that fake. Reads the pulling guard there, number 78, and just fills the gap. Does exactly what his job is. Doesn't over pursue. And so now Elmhurst is going to bring their quarterback back out.
Just under 4.5 minutes to go. 3rd and 5. The Wheaton crowd on their feet. And looks like there'll be a timeout here. Both teams will have a chance to resettle. We might see.
Timeout.
We might
Wheaton,
see
their first charge of the half.
Elmhurst going back to the traditional offense there. I wasn't thinking that we were going to see the Wildcat for very long. But like you've said, Noah, and we've said it already quite a few times, but Elmhurst just willing to try a lot of different things this game. And if not for a few miscues, a few costly penalties, and especially that blocked field goal, I think we would see a few points on the board for Elmhurst here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Wheaton's definitely dominating this game. There's no question about that. But Elmhurst has put up a decent fight. They just really haven't been able to put it all together yet so far. They're definitely trying some different things. They've got a couple pieces that are legitimate players for them, but it's just not all coming together yet. Wheaton's student section here getting loud as they get ready for this 3rd down. Wheaton looking for another good stop here, get themselves another good field position.
Yeah, Buck once again in the game. He's looking for the pass, and that pass nearly intercepted. Number 21, that's Jalen Schaefer, the linebacker. That ball bounced down in his hands. He almost came away with the takeaway there, but really just no options there for Buck, and just had to try and make something happen. Was looking for one of his receivers, but the Wheaton defense all over that. Schaefer with a nice play there to break up that pass.
Yeah, Schaefer probably should have brought in his first interception of the year there. It's right into his hands.
Timeout.
He just
Elmhurst.
wasn't really expecting it to be right there. He does a great job getting back into coverage to help out. He's got that outside zone there from the hash to the numbers with the safeties in the corners over the top more, and just puts himself in a great position to intercept the ball. Not quite able to bring it in. That's why he's on defense, not offense. He's not there to catch the ball usually. But Wheaton, once again, putting Elmhurst into a fourth and long situation with 5 yards to go. Elmhurst probably not going to be able to just run the ball straight up, so they're going to probably be looking to go for some sort of trickery here. Maybe an outside pass, although they've not been great with accuracy so far, as we just saw. I would not be shocked to see them try to go back to that wildcat here, just to put Wheaton a little bit back on their heels. But we'll see what they go for.
Yeah, they'll have a 4th down here, so just one shot. 4th and 5 here for the Blue Jays. Just behind midfield. Wheaton defense getting on the field, ready to go here. The Wheaton defense just a little off kilter right now. A lot of communication. Weren't able to get on the field probably as quickly as they'd wanted to, and Buck hoping to take advantage of that. He looks for a pass. He's getting pressure and able to get through, and there we go. Interception. That is number 21, Jalen Schaefer, making good on his early drop, and that will be a pick 6 for the Wheaton Thunder. Jalen Schaefer just moments before dropping a potential interception, deciding this time I'm making sure it doesn't leave my hands. He goes untouched after that interception.
If at
all the
first
way.
you don't succeed, try again for Jalen Schaefer. Dropped the first, picked up the second one, and he flies down the field. Nobody's touching him. That's another great read there to get back into his zone, and just they had enough pressure just from the people in front of him, and also it's fourth down. He knows Buck does that. He's got to make something happen. Throws it into tight coverage, and it's just right to Schaefer, who takes it back to the house.
That'll be Jack Ryken making good on the extra point. So the Thunder now with 33 to Elmhurst 0. And here on the Thrivent Financial replay, we're going to see this beautiful defensive play here with pressure. Buck just throwing that pass. Did not work out as he intended. And Schaefer, once he makes that catch with just blazing speed down to the end zone, goes untouched. And if you're Jalen Schaefer, you got to be feeling pretty good right now about another opportunity after dropping that first one. And that'll be Connor Buck's 10th interception on the season. Certainly not what the Elmhurst offense was looking for, but if you're a Wheaton fan right now, you're feeling good.
Yeah, Schaefer had his future flash before him of the whole week of practice getting made fun of for having bricks for hands, and decided, I'm not going to let that happen. Makes good on that here with a nice interception. And Wheaton now up 33-0, and they're just dominating this game. It's good to be home. Good homecoming start for Wheaton here. They might have not had the strongest of starts of the season, but they definitely are looking to have a strong start to this game.
Yeah, and you see a lot of smiles on the faces of the Wheaton crowd right now as Caleb Mary kicks off once again. This ball will have a nice roll to it and is picked up by Elmhurst. Just under 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. A lot of game left to be played, but in many ways it already feels like this game is very out of the hands of Elmhurst, as Wheaton with a really big early lead here. With still a lot of game left to be played, like we said. The defense once again on the field. The offense with plenty of time here to try and make something happen, but with the way the Wheaton defense has been playing, they're not going to make it easy for the Blue Jays offense.
Definitely not. Wheaton's defense has really at every position just won their one-on-one matchups, and so Elmhurst is having just difficulty doing anything.
Buck hands off there, and that'll be number 36, I believe, with the carry. No, excuse me, that is not number 36. That is number 32, Zach Norman. We're going to see him more in this game.
Yeah, Norman, a little bit undersized, 5'11", 185. It's not small by any means, but not quite able to match up with the defensive lineman that he's trying to run through there.
2nd and 8 here for the Blue Jays offense. Back deep in their own territory. And Norman almost able to reverse the field a bit and spin out of that, but is brought down by who else? Jalen Schaefer, as you can see on the Thrivent Financial replay. Norman spins out of a tackle, but Jalen Schaefer was there to clean up. Good work there by Schaefer, not biting too early, able to stay home and really clean up there, prevent any big gain from Norman.
Does a great job. That's how Wheaton's defense is built. They always will have a reverse player set up. Usually it's one of the linebackers or the safeties. There, Schaefer's ready for it. He's not going to over-pursue like you said. Waits to hold contain, and then as soon as Norman tries to reverse field, he's there to clean it up.
3rd and 12 here. Buck back to pass, looking with pressure. Intercepted by number 1. That's Riley Schwartz with the interception. Another takeaway from the Thunder in about 90 seconds on the play clock. 2 interceptions, a potential 3 that we saw also in that first drop from Jalen Schaefer. And wow, the Thunder just continuing to turn up and playing extremely well.
That was so athletic there from that interception there by Riley Schwartz, like you said. That's his 4th interception, so he's now tied for the team lead. Just gets his body up there. Very impressive to bring that one in. Wheaton only sending 3 D linemen, so they have the ability to have a little more coverage in the back, which is what gives them that double coverage to bring in that interception.
2 minutes and 28 seconds left here. Bowers looking for Tucker and almost intercepted by the Elmhurst defense. That was number 22. I believe that was number 22. Let me look here at the Threadham Financial replay to make sure we get the right player here. But Bowers, you can see, back plenty of room in the pocket there, looking for Matthew Tucker once again, but good coverage here by the defensive back. He had his hands on it, but just not able to reel in that interception, and that was number 22 for the Blue Jays.
It's a good run there by Gio Weeks following up that. It was a pretty close play, threatening from Elmhurst there. After nearly throwing an interception, Gio Weeks decides, I'll take it under control, bring it in myself, and now they have a 3rd and short after a good 6-yard carry there from 6 or 7-yard carry from Weeks.
And that was Gino Cerrone for the Blue Jays on that early pass breakup. Thunder now a 3rd and 4. Still plenty of time left on the clock with just under 2 minutes. The Thunder looking to score once again. Direct snap to Giovanni Weeks, who cuts through the defense, picks up a nice chunk of yardage. That'll be a fresh set of downs for the Thunder. And Weeks just able to do it all around, again adding to the dominant offensive performance. Something, no, I've been impressed by is just when I think the Thunder have reached their peak of dominance, something else happens. I think those 2 interceptions really showed that the Thunder able to just continue leveling up and turning up into a new gear here against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, there's a reason this team is ranked as high as it is. It's a very good team. Oh,
Giovanni Weeks there on the nice carries. You could hear from Noah's reaction. Moving along the sideline, able to escape 2 defenders, but pushed out of bounds there after picking up a nice chunk of yardage.
Sorry, got worried that I was about to talk over you for a touchdown. But Weeks with another good carry there. This team is very good. They have, obviously, the stars like Giovanni Weeks, like Will Bowers and Ben Bonga, but they've really been able to spread it around so well, and their defense is just as strong as their offense is. It's been very impressive today to watch.
That'll be Giovanni Weeks once again with a handoff. Giovanni Weeks now over 100 yards already in this game with 2 touchdowns. He's been very busy for the Wheaton offense. 100 yards in the first half is surely nothing to scoff at, as we're just about 1 minute left here in this first half, excuse me. This will be Bowers flanked by Giovanni Weeks once again. Tucker motioning in. Bowers looking for the pass, targeting number 6 Tyler Gauthier, and that is called an incomplete. It looks like they said he did not get his feet in bounds.
It's an interesting play call there from Wheaton. They're looking to use that motion that Tucker goes into to really free him up. That's what Bowers' first read is, but doesn't get it. So instead he tries to go from behind. Does he get his foot in? Looks like he does, but he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't hold on to it at the bottom.
Offense.
They wouldn't be mad apparently, as we hear. There's a penalty here with the illegal man downfield. One of the linemen getting a little too far. But this gives Wheaton, still in the red zone, a little bit of extra space here. Might look to go for another pass or do what they do best and give the ball to number 30.
Yeah, that incomplete pass will stop the clock here at 43 seconds. So Gauthier looked to make a nice catch there, just not able to bring it in for the touchdown as Bowers looks at the other side of the end zone. But the same receiver, that's Tyler Gauthier, just despite the contact in midair, just hauls it in. That's Gauthier for his first touchdown of the game. Bowers just continuing to dissect this Blue Jays defense. The Thunder now with 39 points to Elmhurst 0. Just over 30 seconds left. The kicking unit will be back out. Jack Reichen will hope to make this an even 40 for the Thunder.
Yeah, Bowers hesitates a second on that throw. I think he's looking, he's like, there's no way he's that wide open in the end zone, and then he is. So he gets it out to him. Defenders can't quite recover in time. Ooh, that's tough, kicking into the wind, side wind there for Reichen. But still up 39-0 there after a good touchdown pass. As you see, he's reading. He waits a second, goes, oh, he is just that wide open, and just gets it right to Gauthier for a nice touchdown there. That's, I believe, Wheaton's 6th of the day so far.
Yeah, and despite the contact there from number 37, Connor DeVries of the Blue Jays, Gauthier just able to stay concentrated on that ball, pull it in. Nice, easy touchdown there to cap off the first half I want to say that the Thunder will not have another chance to score before this first half ends, but you never know with how well their defense has been playing. With 36 seconds left for a team like the Wheaton Thunder, that's still a lot of time. The Elmhurst Blue Jays looking to make something happen here as they still are scoreless.
Yeah, it was tough for Elmhurst. They were trying to hold in there. They had it a little bit close at the 20-0 game, and then back-to-back interceptions, including the pick six, followed by wide-open touchdown. I think it's pretty tough for them. A bit demoralizing now.
And that Mary kick into the wind had a lot of airtime, but just did not travel very far. So Elmhurst will have a shorter field than they have had oftentimes this game, and will hope to use the last 36 seconds of this one to make something happen.
Yeah, that's a good good heads-up play there by Trey Stabline, their returner. Realizes that ball's not going to travel very far, and if he doesn't get up to it, Wheaton might get it for themselves. So he dives in and keeps a hold of it, gives his offense a chance to do something. Well, that's not something.
That's certainly not what the Blue Jays were looking for. Is again, the Wheaton defense, as you can see here on the Thrivent Financial replay, that's number 92, Christian Bonaquisti, just being able to see what was developing in front of him and just stop it. Elmhurst losing 3 yards on that, and we now, as the time expiring, about 5 seconds left in the first half, they will let the clock run out. And what a first half here from the Thunder. Wheaton Thunder 39, Elmhurst Blue Jays 0.
It's a great first half by Wheaton, and they'll look to continue it here into the second half. 39-0 is a great start for this game. We've seen plays from all over the field. Giovanni Weeks having 2 touchdowns has been great. Matthew Tucker having multiple touchdowns has been great. It's just been really dominant from all aspects of the game.
Thank you for joining us for this first half. We'll be back after a brief break for more CCIW football action.
Number 66 is 6'3", 330. This side of the page weighs a lot more.
Other scores around the CCIW at halftime. Augustana leads Milliken 14-0. In the second quarter, Carthage 20, North Park 14.
Number 59.
And late in the second quarter, North Central 42 and Carroll 0.
How in the world did he get to Elmhurst from San Bernardino, California? He must have got lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to extend a special welcome to all Wheaton College alumni and their families that have returned to campus for homecoming weekend. Today we celebrate Wheaton College and its alumni. At this time, we will recognize the Wheaton Athletics Hall of Honor inductees for the class of 2022. Please note that there is a reception for the Hall of Honor inductees immediately following the game in the King Arena lobby of the Krauser Sports Complex. And now at this time, we will recognize the 2022 inductees to the Wheaton Athletics Hall of Honor. Each of our inductees are joined by their coaches. At the center of the track, they are being welcomed into the Hall of Honor and presented with their award by Wheaton College President Philip Reichen and Athletics Director Mike Schauer. You can find more information on our inductees on the insert to today's game program or on the Wheaton Athletics website. Our first inductee is Laura Kuntz-Bowers, and she is joined by her head coach, Pete Felsky. Laura Kuntz excelled for Wheaton on the soccer field and on the track. She twice earned All-America recognition from the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. She was a third-team All-America honoree in 2005, and in 2006, she was honored as a first-team All-American and named the Division III Women's Soccer Player of the Year by the NSCAA. A three-time first-team All-CCIW selection, Kuntz was honored as the conference's Player of the Year in 2006. Kuntz helped lead Wheaton to 2 NCAA Division III Women's Soccer National Championships in her time on the pitch. The North Carolina native was a key part in helping Wheaton to its first national championship in women's soccer in 2004 in Greensboro. She was named to the All-Tournament team at the 2004 Division III Championship. She scored 4 goals with 5 assists in the 2004 season, including 1 goal and 1 assist in the postseason. As a midfielder in 2006, she set a then-school record with 17 assists and helping Wheaton to its 2nd national championship with a record of 24-2. Laura played in 117 matches for the Thunder women's soccer team in her career with 18 goals and 35 assists. Her 35 assists was 3rd in the Wheaton record books at the time of her graduation and is currently 6th all-time. Laura also competed in track and field, setting a school record in the 400-meter dash and qualifying for nationals in the event. She was also a member of the school record unit in the 4x400-meter relay. Laura graduated from Wheaton in 2007 with a bachelor's degree in studio art. Today, she and her husband, Jeff, reside in Virginia with their 3 children, Levi, Wyatt, and Harper. Laura Kuntz-Bowers. Our next honoree is Stephen Rigby, and he is joined by his head coach, Joe Bean. Stephen Rigby was named a 2nd-team All-American by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America in 2005. In 2006, he was honored as the CCIW Player of the Year in men's soccer. He helped lead the 2006 Wheaton men's soccer team to the NCAA Division III National Championship match as the squad finished as the national runner-up. Rigby graduated from Wheaton in 2007 with bachelor's degrees in business economics and theology. He was named a COSIDA Academic All-American for his efforts on the field and in the classroom. He was a 3rd-team Academic All-American in 2005 and earned 2nd-team Academic All-American honors in 2006. In his 4 seasons at Wheaton, Rigby had 28 career goals with 20 assists. In helping Wheaton to the national championship match in 2006, he established career bests of 12 goals and 8 assists that season. In Wheaton's playoff run, he assisted on the game-winning goal in a victory over 4th-ranked University of Redlands in the first round of the tournament. Today, Stephen and his wife, Karis, live in Nairobi, Kenya with their children. He is a team leader with Surge in Nairobi and Africa Director for Ambassadors Football. Steve says of this role, for 15 years, I have been based in Nairobi connecting people to Jesus through the game of soccer. From the highest levels of the Kenya Premier League to grassroots soccer, I love to envision, equip, and empower people to grow as godly father and mother figure coaches in their communities. Stephen Rigby. Our final honoree is Jill Trent-Sillis, who is joined by her coach, longtime Wheaton women's basketball coach, Beth Baker. Jill Trent's made an immediate impact on Wheaton women's basketball program, earning 3rd-team All-America honors from D3Hoops.com in 2005. She was a 2-time All-Central Region honoree by D3Hoops.com in her career as a center for Wheaton. Trent was named the CCIW Women's Basketball Player of the Year at the conclusion of the 2004-05 season. The Thunder made NCAA tournament appearances in 2006 and 2007, with the program's only sectional appearance coming in 2006. Trent helped lead Wheaton to CCIW championships in 2005, 2006, and 2007. She earned all CCIW honors in each of those 3 seasons. She led the conference in rebounding in each of those 3 campaigns as well. Additionally, her 8 blocked shots against Carthage in the 2007 CCIW Women's Basketball Tournament is still a tournament record today. Trent scored 1,109 career points, a mark that is 14th in program history and was 9th at the time of her departure. Her 8.7 rebounds per game average still stands 3rd all-time in program history, and her 297 blocked shots is the 2nd highest total in the Wheaton record books. Trent grabbed a school record 264 rebounds in the 2005-06 season, a mark that still stands as Wheaton's single-season record. Her 56.5% field goal percentage in 2004-05 was a school record at the time and is 2nd today. The 367 points she scored in the 04-05 season is the 4th highest single-season total in program history by a freshman. Following her 3 seasons at Wheaton, Jill went to nursing school at Baylor University. She spent several years in the nursing profession, and today, Jill and her husband, Eric, reside in Ohio with their 4 children. Jill Trent-Sillis. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give each of our inductees another round of applause, please. A reminder that there is a post-game reception for all of our Hall of Honor inductees following the football game. That reception will be held in the Great Hall and King Arena lobby in the Krauser Sports Complex and begins immediately following the game. All are welcome.
Welcome to the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts. We are thrilled with the provision of this building for Wheaton College as it allows for professional training, opportunity, and experience for students, faculty, and staff, for many guests who come to this facility. We placed acoustics at the heart of the planning and the construction of this building, such that each room would sound beautiful and would best equip those using those spaces as they train and are equipped for the service to church and society. We are delighted that you are joining us and exploring the possibilities for you here in the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts. We are delighted that this building supports and encourages, makes possible artistic engagement in ways that we've not known before. But we most look forward to each person who would be here, a part of this vibrant artistic community of faculty, staff, students, and alumni, together joined in serving our Most High God.
As long a winter as I have ever seen, the kind that makes before December like a long lost dream. But today in New York City, there is something in the air, out from under long black jackets, colors blooming everywhere. And for the first time in a long time, I feel something warm and bright. It's a new day. It's a new life. Feel the wind change. Feel the sunlight. And tomorrow's brighter than it's ever been before. Winter came and now it's gone away. It's a new day. It felt electric to It's a new day, it's a new life. Feel the wind change, feel the sunlight. And tomorrow, and it's ever been before. Winter came, and now it's gone away. Best night of the year! It's a new day.
Hello, my name is Julie Davis, and I serve as the athletics director. Most of my time is spent on things related to budget, personnel, or facility development, or my personal favorite, cheering on our Wheaton Thunder sports teams. Right now, we are in the Krauser Sports Complex, one of the busiest buildings on campus. This is where you can come for free and work out in a beautiful weight room, or play pickup basketball or volleyball, or swim a few laps in the pool. The Krauser Complex is the home of King Arena, the competitive venue for varsity volleyball, men's and women's basketball, and wrestling, as well as the Leader House Natatorium, the home of our Thunder swim teams. Wheaton competes as a member of NCAA Division III, and we belong to the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin, a 9-member conference which regularly boasts national championships across many sports. The mission of Wheaton Athletics is to develop faith, character, and leadership through competitive athletics. We believe the value of competitive athletics is the personal and spiritual growth that occur as a result of pursuing excellence, of pushing yourself to be your best. At Wheaton, you don't have to settle. Here you can pursue academic and athletic excellence that is intentionally integrated with faith in Christ. We offer 10 varsity sports for women and 11 for men, and there is a blend of recruited and non-recruited students on our teams. If you want something more recreational and less competitive, we offer club sports and intramurals also. One of the best things about Wheaton Athletics is the quality and commitment of the coaching staff. Wheaton coaches are trusted mentors and guides who are driven to help you achieve your spiritual, academic, and athletic goals. If you're serious about your faith and your studies and your sport, you will want to give Wheaton a hard look. Wheaton Athletics is distinct because of how well it combines and excels in all three of those areas: authentic faith, first-rate academics, and high-caliber athletics. If varsity sports are something you may be interested in, I recommend you reach out to a coach and complete the recruit form found on the Varsity Athletics website. See athletics.wheaton.edu for a full list. I hope to see you real soon, either in a Wheaton uniform or using this beautiful facility for your daily workout. Welcome to Wheaton.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this afternoon's action between your home Wheaton Thunder, ranked number 14 in the country, against the visiting Elmhurst Blue Jays. Beautiful afternoon for some football. First half, absolutely dominant from the Thunder. They are up 39-0. And before we talk a little bit more about the first half, we're going to do a quick overview of the other CCIW football games going on this afternoon. Currently, North Central sitting at 56 points to 0 against Carroll in the second at halftime. That's the first half score. So North Central up 56 points on Carroll. Carthage and North Park facing off. Carthage up 20-14 at the beginning of the third quarter. Elmhurst and Wheaton obviously here. Wheaton up 39 against the visiting Blue Jays. And Augustana and Milliken also facing off. Augustana up by 2 scores in the first against Milliken. No, obviously with the score like 39-0, it's clear that the score tells a story. What are some big things to take away from the first half as far as this game between the Thunder and the Blue Jays?
Yeah, you said during halftime while we were off the air, it's really incredible how Wheaton has a full game of highlights from the first half. That's really something. Just there's not one person to highlight. It's really been all over. You've got Giovanni Weeks, who has 2 touchdowns already. You have the combination of Matthew Tucker and Tyler Gaudier, each having a touchdown so far. You have Christian Karstens with a nice touchdown run in relief. You have obviously Will Bowers, who's looked very impressive with his arm and on the run. On defense, you had a great pick 6 by Jalen Schaefer. You had another great interception just after that by Riley Schwartz. It was just pretty much anywhere you looked, you were going to see a great Wheaton play, which is how you get yourselves to a score of 39-0 as we enter the second half.
Yeah, and Wheaton will be receiving the second half kickoff after kicking off to Elmhurst to start the game. So they will start on offense. We will likely be seeing some of Wheaton's reserve players during the second half as they are up by many scores on the visiting Blue Jays. That remains to be seen how much and how many of the reserves we will see, but the likelihood of that is more than it is not. As Wheaton gets ready here, Elmhurst looking to make something happen at this point in the game. They probably are not necessarily thinking as much about the potential of a large comeback, but rather just being able to put some points on the board, hope to find some things that are working. They've had a few moments that have looked more promising, but with playing against a team like the Thunder, it's really hard to really make things happen, especially when you have players on both sides of the ball that are so talented. Kickoff here will go to number 28, Jack Allen, who takes it. He's got lots of room to run, and Jack Allen moving, cutting. Jack Allen to the far sideline. What a return by Jack Allen, taking it easily over 30 yards, cutting through the defense. As you can see here on the Thrivent Financial replay, watch how Allen just makes the most out of his blockers. He has plenty of runway here to pick up some speed, and as he goes, just the Elmhurst special teams just cannot pin him down, and Jack Allen with a really nice return there to start off that second half, and I'd say that's very fitting that that's how the second half starts for the Thunder after the first half that they put up.
That's a great return by Allen, his best of the year there with a 35-yarder. And Wheaton, that's a great play there by number 8 from Elmhurst coming off the edge. But Wheaton, one of the biggest things that we saw in the first half is how it was like they were playing on half the field. They almost always only needed to go either 40 or 50 or 60 yards as compared to the whole 100 or 80 yards that Elmhurst was having to go for a lot of that first half. And so Elmhurst had a shot to pin him back with a full kickoff, but Jack Allen makes sure that Wheaton gets another short field here.
Yeah, and we saw Christian Cartons just pick up just a yard there. Is now that'll be number 8, Will Eggleston, picking up a reception there from Bowers, able to pick up some yardage there. So we're going to about have 3rd and short here for the Thunder, 3rd and 2. Specifically, the ball on their own 49-yard line. The Thunder, no surprise, off to a strong start. for this second half.
That's a great catch there by the senior Will Eggleston. That's his first of the year, and he's looking to bring on a few more as this game continues.
Bowers looking. He's got some pre-snap motion from Matthew Tucker, who now flanks his left side with Carsons on the right. Bowers back to pass looking. Against pressure, able to evade, and finds his receiver, number 2, Matthew Tucker. And look here, folks, at the replay here, brought to you by Thrivent Financial. You're going to see Bowers just very shifty in the pocket, able to escape the pressure from the Blue Jays and able to get that pass off. And that's been really the tail of the tape for this game as far as quarterback play. Both quarterbacks been pressured a lot this game, but Bowers just being able to escape a lot more than Buck has been able to on the Elmhurst side.
Yeah, Wheaton's offensive line kind of breaks down there, lets the D lineman through, but Bowers uses his athleticism to keep the play alive and get him a first down.
Bowers finds Ben Bonga, who's leveled by the defender. That's number 2, Jeremy Innes, who we've already talked about a little bit. Take a look here, folks, on the Thrivent Financial replay. You can see Bonga haul this one in, and Innes just coming in from deeper downfield and just bringing Bonga down. Hard hit there, but absorbed well by Bonga. Great job by him being able to still hold on to the football. And Innes been one of the few bright spots here for the Elmhurst defense today.
Yeah, Innes is a fifth-year senior, a leader for this Elmhurst team on their defensive side. I'm sure he's not thrilled with the results so far, but he's trying to do his part as best as he can.
And that'll be Christian Karstens getting another carry. We've yet to see Giovanni Weeks in this second half so far. He already has had himself quite a game in the first half alone, just shy of 120 yards with 2 rushing touchdowns. So Weeks could be done for the day and still have himself quite a game. We're yet to see him once again in the second half. Bowers with 5 receivers now, empty backfield. Ready to take the snap here from the shotgun. And looks like we will be having a timeout here.
Yeah,
Elmhurst
their first
calls
drive
one
to the
here.
half.
In an empty set there, especially up 39-0, Elmhurst probably recognized this is going to be a screen. You had the trips, the tight trip set off to the left side, and they wanted to adjust how they were set up there, because as it was set up now, you're probably going to see a screen to either the inside or the outside receiver with 2 lead blockers for him, and that might have put Wheaton back into the end zone, which is where they've been for most of the day.
Yeah, Elmhurst trying to, at this point, stop the scoring torrent that the Thunder have been able to produce. Lots of offensive action, but we also mentioned the first half interception return for a touchdown by Jalen Schaefer, so able to put some points on the board from the defensive side of the ball. Wheaton just being able to make plays at every opportunity. We also saw some really great special teams play. Obviously, to start off the second half, we saw Jack Allen with just a magnificent return, just showing some blazing speed, being able to get around the defenders. And then we also saw in that first half a blocked field goal from Riley Schwartz. And I'll tell you who is really happy is Tor, as you saw him right there dancing around down just below the fan section. Bowers here with 3rd and 4, again with an empty backfield in the same trips formation that you mentioned, Noah. So it looks like they'll stay with this play. Bowers, like you said, Noah, they went with a screen and they found Will Eggleston, once again the senior, with his 2nd catch of today and his 2nd catch of the season. Eggleston able to pick up a lot of yards after the catch there off of the wide receiver screen play off of that nice trip set. And Eggleston just taking the ball after the catch and just making something happen, running along the sideline before pushed out of bounds. So great to see him getting some action.
Yeah, it's, one of the hallmarks of Wheaton's football team is just excellence at all aspects of the game. Wide receivers there, they don't come in because they want to block. But on that play, you get 2 really solid blocks out in front of Eggleston, allows him to get to the outside and pick up a good first down there.
Bowers out of the backfield, looking, finds Christian Carsons on the reception, who gets it right along the line of scrimmage and is able to take that for about 5 yards. That'll be a nice, another chunk of yardage there for the Wheaton offense. And I'll tell you what, the halftime has not seemed to make much of a change here for the Elmhurst defense, as the Wheaton offense still able to march commandingly down the field here. We saw there just Bowers just very calm, cool, and collected in the pocket, even against some pressure, able to find his open man, who's able to make something happen after that. Bowers taking the snap, and he looks on the nice outside route. That'll be Ben Bonga with his second reception of the game.
Good to see Bonga getting into the game, getting a little bit of action here. Hasn't had, with everyone else having such a huge first half, he hadn't done too much, but nice to get a quick out there, give him some passing yardage there. Elmhurst defensive line keeps shifting. I think they're trying to make that adjustment, make it difficult for Wheaton's offensive line to adjust on who they're going to block for the run. It's tough for them right now. They just look tired. They've been out there for the whole game pretty much, and it's catching up to them.
Well, and here's Bowers on the keeper, and like you said, Noah, the Elmhurst defensive line has been trying to throw in every trick that they can, and Bowers has had quite a few plays where he's gotten pressured, but Bowers just with really tremendous pocket awareness this game. He's really remained calm even against some pressure. We've seen him make some really good plays, really good throws. It also helps when you are a player like Bowers who has the athletic ability to make a play with his legs. It helps you when you're in the pocket to have that ability as well.
Absolutely.
Christian Carson's back deep as Bowers is set to receive the snap directly under center. And that'll be a handoff to Carstens, who's running through. He's got some blockers, and his linemen continue to push, give him just a few extra yards, and that'll be a nice pickup there for the Thunder.
Yeah, that's great by the right guard, Trevor Gabriel, the senior, second team All-CCIW last year. Gets behind that pile and just pushes and pushes and pushes. Picks up a good extra 3 yards just because of, like, not giving up. Wheaton will not give up. They won't get tired, and they're going to keep on coming after you until they get back into the end zone here.
Yeah, and you know, it's really helpful when you have a team that is as deep as the Thunder, because it's really hard to tire them out when they have such talent at every position, you know, 2 to 3 strings deep. We've seen Christian Carstens take all the action at running back this second half, and he is not their starting running back, but plays very, very well for a reserve. So you've got a flag here on this play. We're going to hear from the referee what this is about. Referee having a conversation here with Coach Jesse Scott of the Thunder on the sideline. Looks like there may be a misunderstanding.
Offense, number 13.
There'll be a delay of game call against the Wheaton Thunder offense. So the game clock expired before the play was able to get off. We saw Bowers just kind of toss that throw there at that last play. The offense knew that that was the call there. So they'll be back 5 yards. We'll have a 1st and 14 here for the Thunder. Still very close to the end zone. There actually are 14 yards from the end zone. And Bowers here back again. He's got Carstens on his left side. 3 receivers out on the left side. Bowers with the handoff to Carstens, who is able to escape that first defender initially, but that's number 13 of the Blue Jays, Bryce Gable, who we've seen make a few plays. He was able to get out of that first broken tackle and come back and finish that play. So nice play there from the Blue Jays. They are able to force quite a bit of loss. There's a 6-yard loss for the Thunder, who now face a 2nd and 20.
Yeah, as we saw in the Thrivent Financial replay, we have Wheaton's second-string center in Nicholas Beard just gets beat off of that quick blitz from the middle linebacker, and so Carson didn't have anywhere to go. Now, though, Wheaton finds a little bit of space here. Another screen play, which they've really liked to do so far. They find Will Eggleston once again with just enough space to get him back inside the 10 for a third and long, but with the end zone just 10 yards away, they definitely have the motivation to get it in.
Yeah, that was a really nice play there. We've seen that screenplay, like you said, Noah, get called quite a few times. Elmhurst just biting on it every single time. Bowers, again, with that pocket presence, able to get off a clean pass pretty much every time they've called a screenplay, and Eggleston able to make the play with his legs. Here's Bowers again looking for the pass, and off the hands of Ben Bonga, who visibly frustrated with not being able to bring that in. So you can see on the Thrivent Financial replay here, Nice dart there from Bowers, able to lead Bonga just a little bit, and Bonga just not able to haul it in. The field goal unit will come out here for the Thunder. This will be Caleb Mary, who this will be his first kicking attempt this game that's not been on a kickoff. Jack Reichen has handled the extra point duties, but it'll be Caleb Mary here with the field goal attempt.
Mary kicking into the wind here. This is going to be a tough kick for him, even though it's very close, but the wind's blowing side to side. And he's got it that time. That's, you know, something with the experience that Mary's had so far. He's kicked field goals for Wheaton so far. He's now 2 for 3 on this season. Just making that adjustment. Nice, easy kick. Didn't have to give it too much. Just puts it right through the ends, uprights.
Well, and that was a nice drive there from the Thunder. Not able to finish off there, partially due to that big penalty, that delay of game that ended up turning into that big loss after Bryce Gable blew up that running play. But the Thunder still able to put points on the board as they sit now 42-0 against the Blue Jays. The Thunder, as we look here at the stat sheet, have just really done a great job. Wheaton with 19 first downs to Elmhurst's 4. Wheaton dominating in pretty much every statistical category, as well as just having some really impressive individual performances. Bowers throwing really well today. Obviously lots of good rushing. And we'll have Jack Reichen now who will be doing the kickoff instead of his kicking companion, Caleb Mary. So Reichen with the kickoff there. Once again into the wind. Nice kick, though, still, despite that strong breeze blowing across the field on this nice fall day. And this will be the Blue Jays offense out for the first time this half. That drive also was pretty long, considering how a lot of the drives have been so far for the Thunder. Took up quite a bit of time. They were able to march down the field, munch off some of that clock, and now we will get the Blue Jays out on offense once again.
Yeah, Wheaton's defense getting ready to take the field once again. The Elmhurst offense obviously has not been able to do very much today. I would expect that to continue here with Wheaton's defense really just flying to the ball. That's been something that's been like extremely noticeable so far. Is Elmhurst isn't ever to get into open space. There's always people right there. In that case, he tries to squeak through the hole, but he's not able to get very far before number 49, Sam Bell, the safety, flies up and just essentially smothers the play before it can get too far.
Well, and I think you touched on it earlier, Noah. Wheaton just a really well-rounded team, but I think something that really separates their defense from a lot of their opponents is just the discipline they have. We saw some plays earlier where we got to see that self-control of some of the defensive players to be able to really stay still and let a play develop, knowing that it will often result in them being able to make a better play. The one I'm thinking of is where Jalen Schaefer was able to kind of stay home and end up causing a big tackle for a loss instead of rushing in and allowing for a big chunk of yardage. We're just seeing that from the Thunder, just very disciplined play on both sides of the ball, but especially on the defensive side. Players knowing their roles, knowing what they need to do, and being okay with letting their other teammates come in and make the play.
Yeah, absolutely. Wheaton knows its defensive scheme so well. It comes down from the Coach Swider era and now into the Coach Scott era. It's just incredible discipline all around, to where they're never going to over pursue. They're never going to make a careless mistake to give the other team an open advantage. If you're going to beat Wheaton, you've got to really be on your game.
Yep.
And Elmhurst just hasn't really had the ability to do that today. But Wheaton, with a strong performance here, looking to move their way back up into the top 25 up through the top 25 rankings. And that will hopefully continue with another strong drive right here.
Yeah, Wheaton letting that punt roll from Elmhurst's punter Ryan Brenner. It'll be the Thunder offense once again. Out there at quarterback is Jeremiah Tucker. So the backup for Wheaton out there, able to get some reps in. He's got Christian Karstens with him as well. So Karstens will continue to pick up some nice minutes. as Tucker with the keeper there.
Yeah, Tucker is known especially for his legs. He's incredibly athletic, very fast as a runner. With that rush there, he just passed 600 career rushing yards. He's just, like, he definitely has a strong throwing arm, but Elmhurst is definitely going to be looking out for those play-action run plays.
Yeah, I would say Tucker is the prototype of a dual-threat quarterback. He's also joined in the game right now by his brother, Matthew Tucker, who we saw have a very busy first half, including an amazing touchdown catch. And we'll see if Tucker connects with his brother at all on some throwing plays here. But the Wheaton offense, even with the reserves in, likely will continue to dominate as they have already done on one drive this half, excuse me. Tucker able to get the defense to jump, and with the free play.
Oh, what happened there?
Looks like the ball slipped out of his hand as he was hoping to get off a deep throw. Thankfully,
doesn't matter.
The free play makes, no matter what happens, pretty inconsequential. But you can see here with those flags flying in the foreground that Tucker was hoping for the deep pass, just wasn't able to come off his hand right. Would have been a fumble if the play had not already been whistled dead. And the referees conferring here, deciding what's going on. Coach Jesse Scott looking on from the sideline, seeing what their call is going to be, and you could see
2 fouls on the play. Illegal motion. Offense, number 9. Offsides. Defense. Those fouls will offset. 3rd down.
So offsetting penalties here on this play, like the referee said, it'll be a 3rd down for the Thunder, 3rd and 5 after the offsetting illegal motion and offside penalty. And we'll see Jeremiah Tucker hope to give the team a fresh set of downs here with whatever the Thunder offense can drum up. Elmhurst defense hoping to make something here. Force a 3 and out would be great for if you're an Elmhurst fan. Tucker taking it back, looking, surveying for a pass, moving around in the pocket, and he finds a wide open receiver. Looks like that's number 8. That's Will Eggleston once again. He's been busy. If I remember correctly, that would be his 4th reception of the second half. And great to see him getting some action after not having registered a reception yet this season, now with 4 already in this game. And really, a lot of his catches have really showed off his ability to pick up yardage after the catch. And once again, we're going to get a flag as the snap goes off. We'll see what this one is about. The referees once again will confer.
Ball start. Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
And that's a false start against number 87, Simeon Sechrist. So the Thunder will go back 5 yards. 1st and 15, the ball on their own 40. The Thunder struggling a little bit more on this drive. A few miscues when it comes to penalties.
Yeah, miscommunication there on the snap count. One of the things that will sometimes happen with the second stringers, looking to clean that up here.
Nice fake there. Fake handoff from Tucker to Karstens. A lot of defenders bid on that. Jeremiah Tucker had a chance to throw, but did not end up making a connection. That ball was batted down by the defender. That's number 13 on the defense. Bryce Gable, once again, making a great play for his team. We've seen him very busy so far throughout this game. 2nd and 15 here for the Thunder.
With a 2nd and long here, they're going to probably look to pass here, as we're seeing.
Out of the backfield, Karstens on a little route, unable to pull in that pass from Tucker. The Wheaton offense looking uncharacteristically sluggish and undisciplined on this drive. Could be some of the conditions. I think the few times we've heard the refs talk, you can hear the wind blowing through their microphone. You've also got the fact, like you said, we've got some of the reserves playing, and that changes the whole feeling of the offensive pace. But the Thunder will hope to pick something up here, 3rd and long. Hope to make something happen to avoid having to punt. Tucker back in the pocket here to receive. He's got Karsten looking around, and Tucker taking it with his legs. Like you talked about earlier, Noah, Tucker has got wheels on him, and he goes, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone, deciding I'm going to take it myself after not having receivers, and Jeremiah Tucker jetting up the sideline, no one having a chance to catch him, and that's another touchdown on the scoreboard for the Thunder, 48-0 against the visiting Blue Jays.
That is a great way to get your first touchdown of the year on the board for Tucker. As you said, it had been a couple miscommunications. They hadn't put it all together so far with the new faces out on the field. Tucker decides, I can do this myself. Takes it down the field, cuts past one linebacker, and then it's all green grass up ahead of him as he marches his way right into the end zone. 49-0 is a very good score for Wheaton with just under 3 minutes left in the third quarter. As we see on the Thrivent Financial replay, 13 there, comes in, tries to put that pressure on Tucker, and Tucker responds by doing it himself. There's no linebackers back there to like hold him back. There's no QB spy on him. And so he's got green grass ahead of him, which is something he's really going to use and take advantage of as such a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, and on a play where they needed 15 yards to get themselves a fresh set of downs, Jeremiah Tucker says to himself, well, how does 60 and a touchdown sound instead? Puts another score on the board. Like you said, Noah, 49-0. And I think part of what we're seeing, too, is, again, this idea of discipline. Like you said, Elmhurst not having a defender kind of waiting there in case of QB breaking free, and we saw Tucker take advantage of that off of the defenders biting just a little too early. The Thunder with a near 50-piece, still with a lot of game left to be played, as Jack Reichen will kick off and give the Elmhurst offense yet another opportunity to make something happen. We can see players getting a little chippy here on the field. The ref stepping in there to make sure nothing escalates, and we will see the Wheaton defense take the field once again on both sides of the ball. As we've seen, both offense and defense, Wheaton just controlling and dominating the game. I would be surprised if that didn't continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Wheaton has definitely dominated this game so far, and I'm really impressed, especially by the defensive line that we're seeing right now. They're only sending 3 D linemen, and still, look at that. That's insane pressure. That's a great sack there off the edge by number 51, Lechurko.
Philip Lechurko making his presence felt. We saw him on the very first play of the game actually taking down the Elmhurst kick returner, and there he goes on that play, just physically manhandling the offensive lineman, making his way to the quarterback and just making a play.
Yeah, there's inexperience there on the Elmhurst offensive line, and it looks like they had a little miscommunication, one person going the wrong way, and Lechurko takes advantage for sure.
And Lechurko again pushing Buck out of the pocket and nearly caught there, but also nearly intercepted. There's a lot of blue jerseys there on that pass by Buck as he was being pressured. You can see number 51, Lechurko, forcing Buck to throw on the run, and there was a chance there for a reception, but there were a lot of defensive players from the Wheaton side who had a chance there to also make it play. And we've got a flag here on the play. We're going to hear in just a moment what that's about.
Offense, number 71. That penalty's declined. Third down.
How about that? Philip Lechurko has a holding penalty. They were holding him to a penalized spot, and he still beats them that strongly, still forces the pressure. He's very impressive so far coming in to back up Caleb Kuhn. He's already had 6 tackles coming into that spot, and then the sack on top of that. It's been a really impressive showing for him so far in the second half.
Well, and Wheaton just having a chance to really show off their depth this game. Not only can they beat you with their first team, but they can also beat you with their second team. And this is number 1 for the Elmhurst offense. That's Julian Cavallo with the reception from his quarterback, able to pick up a few yards there. You can see here on the Thrivent Financial replay, Cavallo just moves out of the backfield No one's really shadowing him, and Buck finds him on the quick little throw. Cavallo able to throw off his first defender, moves through the other two and able to pick up some yardage. Now a 4th and 9, and pinned deep into their own territory. The Blue Jays are going to elect to punt, so this will be Ryan Brenner, who's been busy this game so far. And that's a low snap and nearly blocked by the Thunder. McNeil Stout chasing down the punt. It continues to roll, and Stout able to get on top of it after chasing it for what seemed like an eternity. Able to bring it down after not being able to track the ball through the air. Looked like the sun was probably in his eyes a little bit there. And Brenner surprisingly able to get that punt off after the really poor snap, and the defense from the Thunder rushing in, trying to force him into a mistake, but able to get the punt off still. And that was a deep one. Pins the Thunder inside their own 10-yard line, and we'll see once again Jeremiah Tucker out here leading the offense for the Thunder. Tucker pointing, getting ready here, surveying what the defense has given him. Tucker with the handoff here. And it'll be number 28, Jack Allen. And he's another one of the reserve running backs for the Thunder. We still haven't seen Giovanni Weeks yet this half, and my guess is that we won't. If we haven't yet, we probably won't. And again, with the dominant performance he had in the first 2 quarters, you don't really need him to play much more.
That's definitely true. Allen with a good solid run there. Picks up 8 yards of just physicality. That's physical football has been strong for Wheaton so far today.
Jeremiah Tucker with a quick pass out of the backfield to Allen once again, who will pick up a first down on this play. We've got 33 seconds left in this third quarter. Obviously, offensively, not nearly as fast-paced as we saw in the first and second quarters, but that is to be expected in a game with score differential such as this. The clock continues to run, so the Thunder will be able to get off at least one more play before this third quarter ends. Tucker trying to get the defense to get off sides here, and Tucker will roll out. He's looking, and Tucker once again using his legs, juking, moving his way, and he loses the football, but it goes right back to him. Very fortunate bounce for Tucker as it bounced right back into his hands, and that will be the end of the third quarter, and we will be back to you in just a moment after a word from our sponsor.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Are you interested in a career with meaning and purpose? As a Thrivent financial advisor, you can combine your values, drive, and skills to create a rewarding career helping others reach their financial goals. At Thrivent, you'll have the support of a Fortune 500 company backed by a 100-year legacy. Join us to explore what it means to do work that matters. For more information, call 310-740-7158 or visit thrivent.com/careers. And we saw the continuation, Noah, of a dominant performance on both sides of the ball from the Thunder, able to pick up another touchdown off of that brilliant 60-yard rush from quarterback Jeremiah Tucker. We saw in that last play a lot of chaos going on, nearly losing the football to the Elmhurst defense, but Tucker able to recover his own fumble. And we'll see here what the Thunder have in store for this last 15 minutes of play as they sit with a comfortable 49-point lead over the visiting Elmhurst Blue Jays.
Yeah, it's definitely comfortable is a good way to describe it. We haven't ever really been in doubt so far. That was a very impressive play by Tucker at the start to work around. He had 2 defenders in his face, and he just went right in between them. That's definitely using his speed. Gets a little too aggressive, a little loose with the football, but he used those same skills to pick up the touchdown, so definitely not going to fault him for it.
And here's Jeremiah Tucker, who gives the handoff here to Jack Allen, who pushes through. Nice pickup there for number 28, Jack Allen, who in the minutes that he's had this game has played quite well. We saw him also busy on the first play of the second half with a nice 35-yard kickoff return. Nearly broke that one off for a full touchdown, but was brought down by the last man standing. And the offense pick up a 9-yard gain with Allen's last rush, so it'll be 3rd and 1 here for the Thunder. Tucker ready. He's in the backfield with Allen to his right side. Elmhurst defense sending some defenders, and Jeremiah Tucker once again just showing that fast twitch speed. I mean, he can really accelerate with a moment's notice. You can just see him on this Thrivent Financial replay just cutting through, just really excellent footwork and awareness to be able to just move through the defense.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen with a quarterback. It's not supposed to look that easy for him. It's a read option play. He's rolling out to the side and just cuts it up to the middle. As the Elmhurst defenders are doing what they're supposed to. They're chasing from behind, but they're not ready for the speed of Tucker to fly by them before they can adjust.
Yeah, it's very difficult to play defense against a player like Tucker. And Tucker fumbled the snap a little bit, but was able to get it to Jack Allen, avoided a near disastrous play there by getting it to Allen very quickly. And you can see on the replay here that the ball moves around a little bit and the defender comes in ready to pick up a sack, but Tucker with that awareness able to get the ball to Jack Allen just so quickly, and Allen able to turn that into a positive gain.
Yeah, he was it's been really impressive, the combination of Tucker and Allen so far, marching down for this drive. They've both got that quick burst of speed, and the Elmhurst defense just hasn't been able to make up their mind on who they're going after. And so Wheaton's been able to move down the field. That's a long pass from Tucker, just a little too far there. But he's once again throwing on the run, showing the athleticism. That's what he's out there for. He can be a human highlight reel when everything clicks together for him.
Yeah, you can see Tucker on this
roughing
replay.
The passer.
Oh, that was a
defense,
hit.
number 16.
He was motioning for Will Eggleston, calling for that deep route, and it's hard not to think that that late hit there, which we just heard from the referee, the roughing the passer call, didn't affect Tucker's ability to deliver that ball, and Wheaton will get some free yardage there from that play. But like you said, Tucker just so athletic, able to evade any sense of pressure, and had Eggleston open, but just not able to get the ball there due to that late hit. And this will be Tucker again. He's got Allen flanking his left side. He's got an extra blocker in the backfield. That's Simeon Sechrist lined up behind the offensive line, blocking. And this will be Jack Allen with the carry, who shoots through the offensive line, picks up a nice chunky yardage there. That'll go for about 4. That'll go for 7, actually. Allen doing well with the carries he's gotten. Really picks up big chunks whenever he gets his hands on the ball.
Definitely want to shout out on that play. Paul Fay, the left guard, does a quick pull on the trap run there and just dominates his first block, pancakes him, and then moves to the second level to really free open that space. With a quick pull, it's a lot of times tough to really get much movement on the defensive line, and he does not care. He still just plows over people.
And this is Jack Allen with yet another carry from the handoff from his quarterback, Jeremiah Tucker, and that'll be very, very close. That will be a first down. The referee's not sure. It was very close, and they're going to give the first to Wheaton. So they've got a fresh set of downs with just about 25 yards to go. The Elmhurst defense just really struggling to settle in after playing against a quarterback like Will Bowers in the first half, who certainly has the ability to move, going to a quarterback like Jeremiah Tucker, who runs very much like a skill player. It's a big adjustment, and the Elmhurst defense hasn't been able to adjust very well to that so far. As Tucker able to complete a pass, that's Ben Bonga on the reception. Bonga's had a few this game. Had a drop earlier just outside the end zone that Bonga himself was a bit frustrated with, but good to see him able to pull in that reception and pick up the first down.
Yeah, good to see Tucker using his arm there as well as his legs. Gets a nice, quick curl route there to Bonga. Just an easy completion. Picks up more and more yardage. We're marching down the field more and more and staying
Ruling
in
on
bounds.
the field as
to
the
keep-
pass was caught beyond the line to gain and pushed back. Forward progress, first down.
Okay. Keeping the ball, or keeping clock running so that we can move this ever closer to the foregone conclusion of another Wheaton victory.
And we see on this the Elmhurst defensive line shifting as they've been doing all game, and Jack Allen will take that carry on the first down. He'll pick up some yardage. Allen's been great in his minutes. As we've seen, Christian Carson's also be able to play really well. It feels really good as a Thunder fan to see such depth at such important positions like running back. You obviously have the All-American Giovanni Weeks leading the running back room, but having players like Christian Carsons and Jack Allen who can come in and give really valuable contributions in their minutes, it's really great to see. This will be Tucker. He's got two receivers out to his left. It'll be yet another handoff to Allen, who cuts and reaches for the end zone, and he's going to be called down just shy of a touchdown. Looks like that'll be first and goal with about a yard to go. And the offense will move quickly, and that'll be Jack Allen in for the touchdown after a commanding drive from Jack Allen, just being able to move the chains pretty much at will. That'll be a nice reward for him. 6 points for the Thunder, who now sit at 55 with just under 10 minutes left in this game. Jack Allen picking up a touchdown for his team.
Yeah, you know, like you said, that was a lot of it was Jack Allen's drive. He took the ball himself, really on the play before the touchdown, dragging the defenders along with him. He's so strong. Like a lot of these, I mean, a lot of these running backs are impressive because of the combination of the strength and speed that we've seen so far today. Obviously, Weeks is fantastic with that, but Allen and Karstens both have been able to like drag the defenders along with them, and then he's one-on-one with number 55, and he says, "I am not being brought down," and marches into the end zone for a strong touchdown once again. 56-0 now. It's been everything that you could hope for a homecoming game for Wheaton.
Yeah, if you're in the crowd down here, we've got a lot of smiles, a lot of happiness as you watch your home team just go out and put on a clinic. Thunder able to knock through the extra points. Now they sit at 56-0 with 9:40 left in this one. After that drive from Jack Allen with all of his rushes, Wheaton is now up to over 300 yards rushing as a team this game. Certainly impressive to see that. They also have quite a few passing yards. They're up to just below 180 and have just been able to put points on the board in every sense, as Elmhurst will try and return the kick here. Short return there for the Blue Jays. A nice little pickup there, though.
Looked like the freshman ball boy getting hit pretty hard there. Looks like Nathan Headland, one of the Wheaton baseball players, is out there. Got to get out of the way a little bit better than that. But Wheaton's defense now getting ready to take the field, looking to put some more strong line play, especially is what we've seen from the interior linemen. Right now out there, they've got number 92, Christian Bonaquisti. He has been strong. Oh, that was an interesting play. They went for the chop blocks on the line, and it did not really get much done. Bought their quarterback just enough time to get the ball off, but just for a 2-yard gain. That's kind of been Elmhurst's offense so far. When things have worked out a little bit, they just haven't gotten much done.
Yeah, and I mean, seeing these very short passes and just the Wheaton defense unrelenting, unwilling to give the Elmhurst offense any time to make anything big develop. It reminds me a bit of Wheaton's last home game, which was against their other CCIW opponent, Illinois Wesleyan. Very similar experience for the Wesleyan offense in that game. They just did not have time to get anything big to develop. And Wheaton has been the exact opposite. You've seen them be able to get whatever they want this game. It obviously helps when you have quarterbacks on every part of the depth chart who can make time happen and give themselves more opportunities with their legs, but the Wheaton offensive line certainly deserves a ton of credit for the way that they've been able to make things happen this game. And this play will be blown dead by the referee, and we're about to hear from him.
Offense, number 72.
That's a false start
penalty.
on
Still third
number
down.
72, Caden Cornell, the right guard for the Blue Jays. That will set them back a few yards, and they will be faced with yet another long yardage situation as we have just over 8 minutes left in this game. There's not much to say that already hasn't been said. The Thunder have just been putting on a clinic. There have just been a lot of things in Elmhurst's way. Wheaton has made it hard, but in some senses Elmhurst has also made it hard on themselves in some things. We've seen quite a few costly penalties as Buck here finds a wide open number 8, Trey Stabling, who makes moves all over the place. And we do have a flag on the play, so we'll see if this gets called back. But signs of life from the Elmhurst offense there. Connor Buck able to evade pressure one of the few times this game where he's been able to do that. Got the ball out to Trey Stabling, the graduate student for the Blue Jays, and we're about to hear what the flag is here.
Holding. Defense. 1. Penalty be declined. First down.
So that was a holding call against the Thunder. And we'll see if you can see that here on the replay. You can see quarterback. I'm sorry, I don't think that is actually Connor Buck. I think that is one of their reserve players. Looks like number 19. Who was able to get some reps in now. And he takes a deep shot. Nice throw. Intended for Gabe Holtke. That pass had a beautiful spiral on it. Holtke just wasn't able to get there. And we've got yet another flag on the play. And we're about to hear from the referee once again on what's going on. And the quarterback...
Pass interference. Defense, number 1, 15 yards from the previous spot, first down.
That'll be a pass interference call against Wheaton's Riley Schwartz, and the quarterback in now, number 19, that is Andre Acosta for the Blue Jays, able to show off a little bit of arm strength there, and we see Gabe Holtke was the intended receiver, and that call was against Holtke's defender, Riley Schwartz.
Yeah, Acosta here as a freshman coming in, getting some reps against a good Thunder defense. He's definitely got some arm strength. That's something that Elmhurst would be looking for, but doesn't quite have the accuracy to get it done on that play, but he's bailed out by the pass interference. Wheaton here, once again, you see the defensive lineman, number 92, Christian Bonaquisti, like we mentioned earlier. He's just right there. He's not getting blown off the ball. Nobody's getting blown off the ball. That's really been the struggle for Elmhurst all day. They get 1 yard, which is better than a lot of their other runs so far today, but there's just, wherever they go, they see a dark blue helmet in their face.
Yeah, and this drive has been one of their most successful in terms of yardage for the Blue Jays, but that's, of course, with the caveat of all the penalties that have gone against the Thunder. We can see on this Thrivent Financial replay that not much happening here, just not able to be on the same page. Acosta and his intended receiver, and just continual struggles here for the Elmhurst offense, just not able to get anything going at any point in this game. Very early in the first quarter, Elmhurst was playing very aggressive, especially with their play calling. We saw a fake punt within the first 5 minutes of this game, but after that, the Thunder have just really put this one away.
Their second charge of the half.
It'll be Elmhurst's calling a timeout here. With just under 7 minutes, we got 6:41 on the clock. 3rd and long for the Blue Jays. Yet another long 3rd down. You know, at this point, as a Wheaton Thunder fan, you're hoping to just continue to get meaningful reps to your players who maybe aren't getting a lot of normal playing time. You're just getting guys used to the game. If you're the Blue Jays, you're hoping to just see something happen. Hope you don't end with a 0 on the scoreboard, but there's very good chance of that happening with how the Thunder have been playing.
Yeah, that's really, I think, the biggest thing left in this game is that 0 on the scoreboard. That's a really big thing for a defense to end the week knowing that you shut out an opponent. It's something that you really feel proud of at the end of the day, and especially now with the second stringers in, it's so important still for them to keep that focus going, try to keep that shutout up, and so they can have that going into the next week of practice.
Acosta back to pass, and he does find a receiver, and yet another flag on the field. This drive absolutely riddled with penalties, and we'll see what this one is about.
As we wait for the ref to inform us of what this flag was, that's
ineligible player downfield. Offense, number 88. 5 yards from the previous spot. Third down.
Yeah. Mistakes have really just killed Elmhurst a lot of different drives so far. This quarter especially has been kind of ugly on both sides penalty-wise. Elmhurst coming into the day was the least penalized team in the CCIW, but they've had a few more of those today. Just not able to get everyone on the same page, especially now with the freshman quarterback in. So we'll see if they can get anything done, but Wheaton's looking strong here as they end this game.
And that'll be another incompletion for the Blue Jays, leading to a 4th and 14. And we can see on the Thrivent financial replay, surprise, surprise, number 51, Philip Lachurko, forcing Acosta out of the pocket. Lachurko just such a valuable piece for this Wheaton defense. Lachurko does not start for his team, but in the minutes he does get, he proves to be invaluable, causing consistent pressure, playing with such intensity, and we saw that here. Elmhurst will keep their offense on the field here for this 4th and 14, so if they do not manage to make something happen, it will be Wheaton with the ball again. And Acosta able to shovel that pass out just before being taken down. Does not end up in a first down, but Acosta able to think on his feet just a little bit, as you can see here on the Thrivent Financial replay, as he's getting tripped up, able to get the ball out, just shovel it to his player. That was number 28 for the Blue Jays on the receiving end of that little shovel pass. And now Wheaton will return, their offense will return to the field. They have possession once again. And that number 28 for the Blue Jays that received that shovel pass was Michael Duckins, a freshman. He's gotten some valuable action so far this season.
Yeah, so Wheaton with another quarterback out there. That'll be number 5, Ben Thorson, the Wheaton Academy grad. Now getting some reps here as we come to a close. Not able to handle that first snap, but ready to settle in for a 2nd and long here.
Yep, Thorson looking to make the most of his time as he hands off to his running back. That's Christian Karstens back in the game for the Thunder, picking up some more valuable playing time. Karstens has had a great game, as honestly have all the Wheaton running backs to run down the line. Giovanni Weeks, in the first half that he played, he has not since seen the field. He has not needed to. Gio with 119 yards and 2 touchdowns and a 9.2 yard per carry average. Jeremiah Tucker, despite being a quarterback, has picked up quite a few yards, including that 60-yard touchdown run. We've seen Jack Allen very effective on the last drive that he was on. He's averaged just over 5 yards a carry. And Ben Thorson finding a wide open receiver. That's number 4.
Eli Otto with the nice catch there from Thorson. might be coming back with the flag. Looks like it might have been a holding penalty, but that's a good job by Thorson getting his eyes downfield, and Otto having beaten the linebacker that was supposed to be on him.
Offense, number 50, 10 yards from the previous spot, 3rd down.
And like you said, it's Eli Odell on the reception, able to get free from the defense, able to find some space, but that holding penalty will push the Thunder back. We've got some of the reserve offensive linemen in, including number 77, Aiden Kingsbury, a transfer from Princeton. Kingsbury, 6'3", 271-pound junior, very powerful, very strong. Definitely not someone you want to go up against as a defensive player.
Absolutely not. As we can see, as they're giving great protection for Thorson on that play. That offensive line, even though it is not now most of the starters, we have those second strings in, you look at them and it's just an imposing presence. That's something Wheaton definitely has had size in this matchup throughout all of those line positions. It's one of the nicest compliments as an offensive lineman to be called a brick wall, and that's what they really look like out there, is just a bunch of just massive men ready to put their bodies on the line to protect their quarterback, and that's what they've done really well so far, with only allowing 1 sack on the day.
So that offensive drive for the Thunder not really going anywhere. It'll be Elmhurst with another opportunity here after the punt from Evan Spees. Spees was almost tangled up there at the very end. Once again, things getting a little chippy there on the field. The ref, of course, doing his job to get in there and make sure nothing else happens. But the Elmhurst offense will start at on their own 33 with just over 4 minutes left to go in this game. Elmhurst still scoreless, with the Thunder sitting with a more than comfortable 56-point lead on the visiting Blue Jays. As just a little preview for all of you Thunder fans, next week the Thunder will be at Carthage College in Kenosha, Wisconsin for a 1 p.m. kickoff, before returning home on October 22nd for another home game here versus Carroll University. And to do one more score check for the CCIW for the rest of the football teams, we'll give you a quick update on that, as the Elmhurst offense will try to make something happen here.
Yeah, Elmhurst struggling a bit on that play, only getting 2 more yards. Struggling's been pretty much a theme for them today. And once again, the defensive line of LeChurco and company really shutting down that running game.
Yeah, Acosta there with just a basic handoff, basic run play. Doesn't really go anywhere. And that's been a story of the game. Now for a quick score update from across the CCIW. North Central, number 1 North Central against Carroll. North Central sits with a 66-point lead on Carroll with 14 minutes left in the 4th quarter, 66-0. North Central. Carthage playing North Park. Carthage with 26, North Park with 14, with just under 10 minutes left in that game. Obviously, you're here watching CCIW action between the Thunder and between the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Wheaton with that 56-point lead. Illinois Wesleyan losing 14-56 versus Wash U. Augustana up by 21 against Milliken with just under a minute left in the first half. So good CCIW action around the conference. Again, Wheaton will be playing Carthage next week. Carthage sits at 1-3 on the season, but up 26-14 on the winless North Park.
So
Timeout.
After that, CCIW
their last charge of the half
update that we got, checking back in on this game. It's still 56-0. Wheaton has dominated on this drive as well as every other one, it felt like. The freshman quarterback for Elmhurst has really tried to find his open receivers. It's been tough for him, seeing his offensive line's really starting to let him down here. There's been a lot of pressure up in his face. Even when he's able to get the ball off, he had a really solid down-the-field throw earlier, but it's not able to be completed because there's two Wheaton defenders rallying to the receiver before he can bring it in. Wheaton now on Elmhurst now on a 4th and long is going to continue to try to test this Wheaton defense, see if they can get any points on the board, because they're not going to give up. These stats still count, even if it's just playing for pride. But Wheaton's going to call another timeout here, so we'll have a little bit longer break.
Timeout. Wheaton.
I mean,
First charge
overall,
of the half.
It's just been a great homecoming game for Wheaton.
Yeah, if you're a Wheaton fan, especially with the starting the season 2-2, if you were not here with us earlier, the last time the Thunder started a season 2-2 was in 2001, which not only speaks to the consistency and the dominance of this program, but also how difficult it can be as a Thunder fan to see them start a season that way. Of course, it needs to be understood that their 2 losses have come to 2 of the best teams in the country. Wheaton lost their opening game of the season visiting Trinity down in Texas, who was ranked number 9 at the time. Wheaton was ranked number 8. They fell by 1 point in overtime to Trinity, and last weekend played North Central in Naperville at North Central, and North Central, for those of you who are not aware, is ranked number 1 in Division III football right now, and Wheaton not able to pull off a victory there, but put up a good fight. So good if you're a Thunder fan, especially on homecoming weekend, to see them return to their winning ways, not only winning, but just dominating in every sense. Even when you put the reserves on the field, still being able to put up points, still being able to stop the offense just is really good.
Yeah, with Ben Thorson coming back onto the field, Wheaton's just trying to run the clock out a little bit so they can take those kneel downs to end the game. We'll get another quick run here by Karstens, who powers through the hole once again. He might have gotten a first down there, almost. An 8-yard rush. He's been very impressive today. Him and Jack Allen both showing off those legs. Really, really impressive speed and strength combination, as we talked about earlier. But he now comes out and looks like we have another running back in there, number 31 for Wheaton. That is that's a good run there by Henry Brown. Henry Brown, the junior, with a solid pickup of 5 or 6 to get them a first down. Wheaton just depth is really been shown off today so far.
Yeah, and despite them starting 2-2, this has also been just a really comforting game to watch, to see that depth, because when you get into the ends of the regular season, especially start the postseason, depth is such a huge factor when you're playing against really other really good teams, as Henry Brown breaking off a nice run there, able to break through some contact. But Wheaton having such depth at every position area is something that certainly gives them hope for the postseason, which they will hopefully find themselves in this year. But seeing all these players get some time at the end of this game has been really, really helpful. I'm sure the coaching staff has enjoyed seeing that, as the fans have as well. Ben Thorson able to deliver a pass there to his receiver. You can see there, nice precision there. Gets the ball to McNeil Stout, who refuses to go down there. And just good to see, even with under a minute left in this blowout game, that the Thunder players refuse to play without heart.
And that's a great catch for Stout there, as it keeps himself in bounds. And that will be enough to give the Thunder the ability to kneel out the rest of the clock for a great win.
What a dominant performance. Looking back at the history of this matchup, Wheaton, especially in recent years, been very dominant. But good to see them come out in front of their home crowd and just put on a show at every level. no matter whether we talk about offense, defense, or special teams, just Wheaton on their game today, just completely locked in. Many players on both sides of the ball for Wheaton just having themselves a really impressive day. As we can see, the teams greet each other as the clock runs down. The Thunder win this game handedly with a 56-0 victory over the visiting Elmhurst Blue Jays. That'll give Wheaton one more win in the CCIW, and the Elmhurst Blue Jays unfortunately remain winless. They are 0-5 on the season. Wheaton moving up to 3-2, and again, what a game from the Thunder. The Thunder will play Carthage next week at Carthage and will return home the weekend after that. So please stay tuned throughout the rest of the season as we continue to watch our beloved Thunder continue to fight for a spot in the postseason and continue to have chances to put on great shows for the crowd like they did. This has been Josh Beischel and Noah Husted bringing you this presentation of the Wheaton Thunder football CCIW action this afternoon. Thank you for joining us and have a great week.